I put it's funny, man. It's Briggy, baby.
Bitch, you were my best friend. Bitch, you were my best friend. I can't even fuck with you. I can like some misfits, but you still my rider, boo. I ain't never did sin. Fuck with me or body you. Shoot but never mention. I am still in love with you. Empty out my clip, bitch, to see if I can fuck with you. Nobody know our business, so what the fuck we gonna do? You ain't really in this, embedded in the way you move. In this fucking industry, don't know what I'm gonna do. Am I gonna fuck it up? Am I gonna go on up? Am I gonna make it out to try somewhere the sun is up? Tired of all this talking, yeah. The whole game we going, yeah. Pull up to the show and make a fuss, and then you know it's us. Thought I paid this funny, man. I wish a kid was living. Pick me.
Now I can hear myself. I put it's funny, man. It's Briggy, baby.
Bitch, you were my best friend. Bitch, you were my best friend. I can't even fuck with you. I can like some misfits, but you still my rider, boo. I ain't never did sin. Fuck with me or body you. Shoot but never mention. I am still in love with you. Empty out my clip, bitch, to see if I can fuck with you. Nobody know our business, so what the fuck we gonna do? You ain't really in this, embedded in the way you move. In this fucking industry, don't know what I'm gonna do. Am I gonna fuck it up? Am I gonna go on up? Am I gonna make it out to try somewhere the sun is up? Tired of all this talking, yeah. The whole game we going, yeah. Pull up to the show and make a fuss, and then you know it.
I definitely want to talk about this. Like, I mean, our past is definitely a huge fall in the house. Show us. They're hungry for it. Maybe they're curious about it.
When it, doing all the school stuff and just
I started going to night school. My life was literally.
Oh, there's something behind it. And we are live. I'm Eric.
I'm Andre.
And I'm Richie. And this is the High End Power Podcast coming to you live on YouTube. Everybody that's online right now, or if you're coming online later, I need you to like, comment, subscribe. I need you to hit that notification button as well, the little ring, the little doorbell,
the
whatever,
bell,
the little bell thing. I said doorbell. What the hell?
It works.
Shama. Guys, what a busy week, huh? Crazy busy week, huh?
It's event week, guys.
Event week, yeah.
Oh my
yeah.
God.
oh la la.
Guys, we got so much going on. This event is going to be amazing. Honestly, the amount of people working behind the scenes to make this event happen, it's beautiful, it's amazing, and it comes to show that if you unite with the right people for the right cause, with the right mindset, so much can be done. And I'm so excited for you all to walk into that place and see what we are preparing for you guys. For who doesn't know, we have our first annual toy drive, a chance to dream toy drive at Exotic Auto Spa. We partner up with them in this awesome cause. We wanted to do something because we've had an amazing, blessed year, and we wanted to be able to share an experience of also giving back to those that don't have an opportunity to have the best Christmas. Yeah. And we understand that, we've all been through tough times. My family's been through tough times, through struggles, and the project, just because they all work together in basically helping multiple thousands and thousands of families all over Massachusetts and kids. And for this Christmas last year, actually, they were able to collect 27 toys. 27,000 toys.
Yeah.
So 27,000 toys last year. And then we partner up with them. So their goal this year is actually 30,000 toys this year. And that's insane. So, last year they did 27,000 toys. This year they're going for 30,000 toys. Hit Podcast coming strong. Exotic Auto Spa coming strong.
Shama.
All our sponsors. Guys, honestly, round of applause for all our sponsors right now.
Shama.
Because I'll say this, man, and I want to be real about this. We've been in the game, in the podcast world, in the entertainment world now, talking to people and trying to make a difference out here and learn with the people who we bring here on this couch every day. But we didn't want to be selfish about that. We wanted to share that as well with everyone else who watches us here live every week, right? And it comes to show that, it don't matter how big you are. It don't matter how long you've been doing something for. If I said this earlier, and I'll say it again, if you're doing it with the right people, for the right cause, and dude, God just makes things happen. The universe, whatever you believe in, just makes things happen in such a perfect way.
Yeah, step by step, right? Things just
Everything.
align back to back.
Bro, it's crazy. 13 sponsors out of the bat, and then by the end now, when we had people call us today trying to sponsor the event, and unfortunately all the banners are already done, and we can't add anymore.
That's crazy,
bro.
bro.
We finished off
Honestly.
with 20 sponsors for this event. 20 sponsors that came in and said, "Let's make this happen. Let's make sure it's beautiful."
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's for a good cause, dude. You know, and this is what we always preach every episode, man. We're always trying to reach someone that's going through a hard time, to reach someone that, you know, go through familiar things that we have, bro.
Yeah.
And other than that, you know, coming along and helping people in need, you know, I think that's very important, and I think that stuff reciprocates to you, you know, and it's you know, it's the journey is insane. I can't wait to see what it's gonna look like, dude. It's gonna look crazy.
Everyone
know,
looking so
yeah,
amazing.
man, it's amazing, bro. You know,
Eric, how are people supposed to dress up? I mean, we get that question a lot.
yeah, I mean, everybody, if you're not wearing a tux, you guys will not get in.
Bruh.
Honestly, if you guys are not
Black
tuxed
suits,
up,
black suits and tux.
black suit tux, isn't that the same?
There's a difference. There's one slight
There's a
difference
big
there.
difference, yeah.
Not a big. It's a slight difference.
What's the
but-
difference?
So the tux, it's more of like it has like the flaps, like the cutler, like the shiny flap. That's a tux, and it's more for like a formal event. A suit is just a suit. You can wear that. So any.
I want a
like there's no
tux.
flap. Like the flap
Tux
isn't the
is
shiny
like what
one.
you wear to
You got the
prom,
vest.
your
Not always. You don't
wedding.
have to wear the vest. So there's a three-piece.
yeah.
There's a three-piece tux and there's a two-piece.
Yep.
So in my case, I'm wearing a two-piece. I'm not wearing the vest inside.
I'm wearing a 3-piece.
You're okay.
All
Guys,
right,
we
all
got. Wait a minute. Pause. We got Briggs' mic back. But Eric, where's my mic? Okay, Eric, I have a question, man, and Andre. I mean, let me ask you this one, Andre. If people want to get the ticket, where do they gotta go, bro?
Bro, right in the bio, Eventbrite. You click right there, it'll shoot you right straight to the page. It'll show you guys there everything you need. It even breaks down a little bit of what you should like. What you just said, what you
Yep.
need to wear, everything. That's
Any questions?
Any questions? Like the flyers are there, and these guys have been doing an amazing job keeping up of what needs to come. Eric's awesome video talking about what you should bring. If you have any questions, guys, it's pinned right on our page too. Everything to the event. That's like any kind of information you might have missed or anything we don't mention today. Go check it out right on our page. And guys, this is for a good cause. Remember, this is for families like. We're so privileged to have everything we
The
have.
Christmas we do, and the
So,
holidays we do.
Let's give back a little. It's like what can you do to always give back a little and contribute? Think about it. If everybody gave back a little, how much better we'd all be. You know what I mean? This
world would be a better place.
Yeah. So this is just another event starting off of like us giving back. This is something we've always
Hell yeah.
talked about. So it's just like proof of us putting to action what we've been talking about this whole time.
And Eric, a big thing too. I mean, what's happening with the proceeds from the tickets, bro?
What's been happening?
Yeah, what's gonna happen with all
I
the
mean,
proceeds, with all the money we're collecting from the
100%
tickets?
of
Where's
the
it going?
proceeds.
Exactly, man. 100% of their ticket is gonna go straight to
The families and the kids.
Yeah, the
Yep.
family and the kids.
Project
man.
Just Because.
Yeah, because honestly, not only that, all the toys that's gonna be brought too. You know, everybody is gonna have to bring toys for the kids that wouldn't receive. You know, in the
Wouldn't
time
be-
like
yeah.
you
At
know?
this time, at the end of the day, man, when families are struggling, you know, it's tough to go and buy their kids a toy and to go out there and go Christmas shopping, especially nowadays, right? Inflation, everything's so expensive. The little money that we make, man, it goes away so quick. Which, I mean, hint, we're gonna talk about how you can do better things with that money too later on in this episode. But guys, at the end of the day, man, the struggles are real, and if you don't face it and you don't understand that, no matter what situation you're in, there's always someone who's going through something more difficult than you in this world.
Hell yeah.
So at the end of the day, what can you do to just better someone else's day and better someone else's holiday experience? Just thinking of the fact, man, that I'm gonna be able to bless a child who wasn't maybe going to get a gift, and he's gonna be able to open up a gift during Christmas, bro. It's priceless, bro.
Bro, but also like think about it: $50, open bar, food, drinks, guys.
not to like?
A band. You know, we're gonna have raffles. It's gonna be fun.
The
dude.
best part about this is that we wanted to make sure that while you guys are giving and you guys are participating in this awesome cause, you guys are also having fun. We want to also make sure we, as a podcast and as Exotic Auto Spa, with our sponsors, are also giving back to you guys as an experience, as a time to network with your people. There's gonna be a lot of different people you might not know.
yeah.
It's a time to maybe talk to meet a few another. Bro, a lot of business can be made in that environment.
Yeah,
too.
man.
As
Let's
much as
low-key
giving
network.
back, it's a networking.
It's a
event.
networking
Yeah.
event too. It's a great opportunity for you to get to meet different people with different mindsets and seeing where they're going. And maybe, guess what? You can learn something new. Go in with, I said this to all my friends, man. Whatever situation you go to meet someone new, you don't have to take everything in, but go in with the open mindset. Take
yeah.
in what's positive and throw away what's negative, but always meet new people. Always talk to new people.
Shama.
That's how you grow.
Shama.
Hell yeah.
My friend, episode 38. My friend, 38.
Can you guys believe that?
Yeah, man. It's been a journey, man. Holy crap.
Let's talk about how we're taking a little break for season one.
Yeah.
Let's recap on that because we talked a little bit about it last episode. Eric, can you tell them what's going on?
Well, is it December 20th?
December 20th,
Yeah.
our last
So
episode.
December 20th, our last episode. Then we're
season
gonna
one.
for season one. You know, we're gonna do a break until February.
And 7th. Yeah, February 7th, Wednesday. We come back.
We need to focus a little bit. You know, touch back with the family back home.
We
in
gotta
Brazil,
take a break too. You
take
know,
a break. You know, do a little vacation.
and prep a lot of great content.
Exactly.
But we're still gonna be putting out content.
Yes.
Yes, we will, bro. But guys, season 2 is gonna be incredible.
A lot of surprises.
We're gonna come full throttle, and if you guys are not gonna jump on the bus, I am sorry. It's gonna be amazing. We're gonna have some cool things happening. Some great guests that are coming in.
Big names.
Our vlogging is gonna be more up to date. I know that we promised that them, a couple episodes.
We dropped
before.
one vlog. It's
yeah,
hard.
we dropped
It's
one,
hard,
but
guys.
it's hard to,
It's hard,
especially with the
guys.
lifestyle that
Dude,
we have.
I think
bro.
what it is, we're such hard critiques on ourselves. So like, even like every time we do something like that, we go after and we're like having our little powwows. We're like, damn, bro, we can do better. And then we don't end up like putting it out because we're like, bro, we got to do better.
Yeah.
But
But
it's
yeah,
just
everything comes in time, bro.
Yeah.
We are dipping our toes in the water, so we're just trying to feel it out how everything is, right? But the important thing is consistency, right? Consistency and patience. So with those two, dude, I think there's a lot in store. Season 2 is gonna be sick. We're gonna have time to brainstorm, and all that stuff. So
and I
it's gonna be
definitely want to
sick.
say one thing too, Eric. If people, let's go back. I know how many people we have here. That we have people watching us right now. We got about 8 people live and watching us live right now. And I want to say this. I'm pretty sure that there might be a few people who've been with us since the beginning. That first episode, that first feeling when people saw this set for the first time, I got a lot of people messages saying they were wowed. They were like, wow, that's dope. What you guys did was different.
Yeah,
It's
bro,
crazy.
I got mad messages too.
Me too. So now I want to say something. If you think this was crazy, prepare for season 2 because we got something even better coming for you guys.
Hell yeah, man.
Hell yeah.
Hey, so tell us a little bit about the guests for today.
Bro, this guy's different, man.
Yeah.
This guy. I say that a lot about like a lot of our guests that come here. They're very special, and I appreciate every guest that comes here, man. But again, Victor Hugo, he's a hustler, bro.
Yeah.
And he's a guy that comes from an immigrant family. He comes from a story that has nothing to do to where he is today. And it just comes to show, again, try different things, find different expertises. You're never going to jump into the first boat and you're going to sail perfectly. No, there's winds. The ocean gets rough. But guess what? Sometimes you got to switch your boat because your boat got a little crack. You're not going to stop sailing. You're just going to switch to the next boat and make sure it works. And honestly, Victor, I'm so happy to have you, bro. And this guy has a journey not just on the financial world, but spiritually, life lessons.
Family.
And he's young, man.
hell yeah.
That's what I like the most. We had Brandon here, 19 years old, soccer player, coming in, chasing. All these guys, man, if you take a look at these guys are all young, man.
Yeah.
We're all young, man. We have
Yeah.
such a life ahead of us. And I am super excited to bring him on. Let's put his intro on and let's make sure we get ready because this is about to be amazing.
Show us.
Victor in the house.
Show us.
Pleasure to be here.
So
excited.
Victor, my man.
Man, thank you so much for coming in, dude. I know you're a busy guy, man, but coming in and expressing your knowledge, joining us, having a seat in a couch, the famous couch that goes that goes all everywhere, rooftops, it goes
everywhere,
garages, we put this thing in
bro.
everywhere, man. Well, honestly, man, it's a pleasure having you, man. How are you?
Dude, I'm awesome. I'm honored to be here. Thank you very much for the invite. And, you guys give a nice intro and stuff. But honestly, you guys, I'm impressed with you. I've tried to start a podcast myself, and I know how hard it is. And you guys do it live. I was like, these guys are in another level, man. I was so impressed. And you guys were born to do this. You sound so nice. I just want to buy whatever you're selling. Like, send those tickets,
I do have solar, man. We can talk about that.
Never misses a chance.
Come on, Richie. We're all live, man.
You never know, bro.
The sales at the door.
But I'm impressed, man, and I appreciate the Intro Bus series. You guys should be proud of what you're doing, the mission, why you're doing this. It's amazing. I know you guys are going to go as far as you want to go.
Hell yeah, Victor. Man,
exactly.
I'm glad you brought up that, like, you started a podcast, because it's funny, man. When we started this podcast, we looked at what you guys were doing, man, and we're like, bro, these guys are killing it. Like, they're doing a good job. Like, they started this. And at the end of the day, man, I'm proud of what you guys did, too, because just taking that first step to even start that challenge, we say this a lot in the sales world with the door-to-door, right? The hardest door for us to open is a car door to get out, to knock a door. That first step, and you taking that first step to go into the podcast world, to creating a studio, to doing all that, finding the right people to do it with you, bro. It's hard sometimes, and it's tough, and just the fact that you made that step and you went and go, and, girl, I'm proud of Sales from what you did, bro. Because we were looking up to the things you were doing too. 100%. We looked up to the things you were doing 100%.
We definitely appreciate everything you just said too, man. Because how many times have we thought about stopping this, man? And we just kept going, man. Like, we always thought, like, dude, we didn't come this far just to get this far. You know what I mean? So, like, we did all this. So we gotta keep with that same mentality.
Yeah, there's some people quit before they actually hit that exponential growth.
Yeah.
People don't understand that if you look at a graph, right, you got the 9-degree line right there, and you got results right here, and you got time right here. And at first, you're gonna spend a lot of time, and you're gonna have no results. And what happens is people quit before they hit that exponential, thinking they start something else. So, for example, you're just starting solar, right? It's going to be hard. You're not going to be making $1 million in the first year, right? Well, maybe you are. I don't know. Maybe you're special. But let's say you don't. Let's say you don't.
Yeah.
And your hopes were to make $1 million in the first year. And then you quit, and then you go back to do something else. And some people do that circle all the time. They never hit that exponential growth. So if you guys keep doing this, if you read Joe Rogan, right, how he started, it's a good
just
a
for
good
fun,
role
and then
model
it
to
got to what it is. Yeah.
That's
Bro,
sick,
and
man.
it's funny because we were talking about that today, bro. Joe Rogan sold the right to his podcast to Spotify, right? Was it that?
Well, not the rights, but like he can only like put the episodes out on Spotify.
On Spotify for how many billions?
It was 120 million, I think.
Yeah, it was
to
around
get
there.
the exclusive rights.
Oh, I thought it was like 2 or 3
a lot of
billion.
money.
And actually, it's funny. So the contract with Spotify and him is about to end, so they're gonna have to renegotiate. And he brings like, bro, every episode of his, it says it's an average of like 8 million viewers, which
That's
is
crazy.
or listeners, which is insane. So like they're gonna have to
It's
renegotiate.
insane, bro. And the big thing too, like you just said, that people always give up. I read this thing once that also says, man, that people always give up the one step before the success. It's like when they're about to they're about to cross that line, they're like, I can't take it anymore, and they give up. When they're about to knock on that door, so it's tough, man. At the end of the day, it's not an easy route. Everything that you're doing, I mean, let's talk a little bit about who Victor is.
Well, man. Well, I'm just another immigrant, man, in America, bro. What do you mean? Trying to get the American dream. Well, I got to this country when I was 16 years old. All right, my mom came in here when I was 2. My dad walked on us, so he put us in a very difficult financial situation. So my mom had to come here, and the plan was to stay a year. Have you guys heard that before?
Oh yeah,
Right?
that's how we all start.
That's always
Right?
the plan. Get here, stay a year, get all the money, go back to Brazil.
We're 1 year little. We're going back to Brazil.
So the plan changed, and she stayed here. She's been here for 28 years now, right? No, 26 years now. And the sacrifice at the time to give me a better life was to leave me there. But I didn't understand that at the time, right? So I held a lot of resentment towards my mom for the longest time for abandoning me, right? Although she gave me a better life, I went to good schools. I can't complain about that, right? And never, my grandparents, they're very scarce people. even though they did have money, they acted like they didn't, and that
So
always
they were
co-
frugal, so
yes,
they, yeah.
but that always brought financial problems to our family because when you're always thinking of the worst case scenario, right? You attract the worst case
Yeah,
scenario,
so
right?
true.
I like to talk about fear and faith, and you know, I like to say that fear is faith in reverse, because people like to plan or imagine the worst case scenarios in their head. That's faith. That's the same thing as faith, right? Faith, you have to imagine the best possible scenario in your head, but people are just accustomed to playing out the worst case scenarios in their head all the time. And the same way that faith works, man, fear works the same way. If you're feared that something's gonna happen, it will attract that, and that's gonna end up happening. There's so many examples of that, right?
Oh hell yeah, man.
And that was always the case with my grandparents. So they've always tried to start businesses, and the business wouldn't go well. You know, they would lose everything, start again, lose
So
everything.
was that because, like you were saying, they were too scared to, like, I guess, risk it all?
I don't know if they were too scared of risking it all. I mean, there was definitely a lack of preparation. My grandparents didn't go to school at all, right? I think they stopped at second grade or third grade, and they were never seeking advice from the right people. Right, they would seek advice from friends, family, everybody who's not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Right, instead of finding a mentor, instead of finding someone. But it's easy for me to say that now, right? Because I have all the resources, I have all the information. They definitely didn't have it at the
A
time.
lot tougher times too.
Yeah, but they listened to the wrong people, and they always ended up in the same struggle. And I grew up thinking that, you know what, man, I want to be different. I want to get a job. So in my case, I thought that getting a job, a 9 to 5, was the way to go because, you know, it's stable. I don't have to go through financial situations. Cause I seen, you know, there are periods of my life growing up that we would only eat meat on Sundays because we didn't have money to buy meat for you know, during the week.
Struggles.
Right. And then I was like, I don't want to go through that. Right. And there was also the fact that I was like, I want to have a family. Like, I never had a stable family growing up. Like, my dad walked on me, my mom walked, and then, you know, my grandparents were always working so hard. So it's so crazy to see how people are raised in the States, because when I was 5, dude, I was in the streets, you know, playing
are you
until
only child?
late night. Huh?
Are you only child?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, my brother was born here, and I'm 8
Which was,
years
like,
older.
later,
Exactly, 8 years older. I'm 8 years older than him. So it's so different, dude. You're just mature much faster, man. But you know, when I was 12, I was already going to concerts on my own, like nightclubs,
Especially in
drinking.
Brazil, bro.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
so
Brazil.
different. People think we make these things up, but we're not, man. It's
Brazil's
just how
different,
it's
bro.
just how
the,
things
the
are. in
upbringing there is just completely like.
Yeah, so being where I am today, it's literally, I feel like God was like, yeah, dude, you know, I got a path for you, man. You know, I'm gonna let you do these things, but I gotta save you
something special
eventually.
for
you
you.
know?
He let you learn from your mistakes, and
Yeah, I had every opportunity to, because I see a lot of people that have the same situation, and they get pissed at their parents, and instead of using that as motivation to be better, they do everything to call attention to themselves.
Or kind of use it as an excuse.
Exactly, man. And I hate that.
Yeah,
I hate it.
I
I hate
hate
it. I hate it. I hate it. I talk to people all the time that they come to me and they're finding ways to find excuses for their problems. And I was like, dude, the only people in charge of a situation is you.
Yes.
No one else.
That's totally true, bro. Because at the end of the day, they say that when you turn the switch, is when you realize that you have to stop giving excuses on other people and put the excuse on yourself.
Bro, I was talking to someone this week. They're like talking to me, they're like telling me all these problems and this and that. Oh, but this happens to me. Blah, blah, blah. I was like, listen. Can I say what I want to say? They're like, because you know, I always, bro, sometimes I say shit and it sounds rough. Like, I get it. But that's why I warn. You want to hear what I have to say? Yeah. I was like, okay, listen. Stop blaming other people. Anything that happens in your life is your fault. And when you notice that, when you start, like Garrett said, when you switch that, bro, so much now becomes like, so much of what's so oblivious to you that you didn't even notice now becomes so noticeable. And you're like, oh shit, I was doing that? Wait, oh crap, I put myself in that situation? Oh wait, I allowed that person to be in my life to let that happen? Oh wait, I put myself in that situation where I didn't wake up early to do this and this and that, or I didn't take enough time to do this, to prioritize that, and instead of just saying, oh, I don't do this because I don't got time, I don't do this because this happened, I don't do this because I don't got the money, I don't do this because my dad messed up my mom, I don't do this because my family sucks. No, bro, it's you. Put your head up and just change it. And sometimes that sounds very dickish of me. I get it. But, bro, at the end of the day, bro, it's like, get shit done.
Yeah, and then you control your outcome.
Get shit done, bro.
Yeah, man. How long did you stay in Brazil for?
So I came here when I was 16 years old.
Okay, damn.
Right. So you would think that because my mom came here, went to the best schools, I had a great life. But dude, it was quite the opposite. I'm from Paraná, a little city called Apucarana in Brazil, and going to the best schools, but coming from a very poor family, right? Like simple family. I would go to the fancy schools in a Fusca. And those kids, man, would bully the crap out of me, bro. And the whole school just automatically hated me, like from day one. And I was this little chubby kid.
Were you going like a private school type thing?
Yeah. And you know, my teeth was all crooked and stuff. And
Wait,
like,
here or in Brazil?
No, in Brazil.
Oh,
in Brazil.
okay, yeah. Damn.
So I was like, damn, man. Like my whole family was fat, so I thought it was normal. Like,
You went to private school, saw all these fit kids.
That's crazy.
and I saw all these people running and stuff. I was like, what is these people running for fun, man? What is this? Like, we only run if we have to run from the cops or something, right? Huh? From dogs or whatever. But so I had to rebuild myself. Like I knew that my grandparents are the best people in the world. Very honest people, too honest sometimes. They get in stupid situations because people make a fool of them. I was like, I gotta be better, but I can't mirror them. And I made that switch when I was about 6 years old.
Wow.
But here's the thing, man. I used to lie a lot because I hated being broke. You know what I mean? Like I just, you know, all these kids would travel on Christmas and stuff, and I would go to, you know, my uncle's house.
Yeah.
And they would come back with all these stories, so I would just make things up. So until I was like 12 or 13 years old, I was just like a compulsive liar, man. I would lie all the time, make all these stories in my head. You know, I didn't know that I was already visualizing what I wanted to do, right? Because I'm
Making it into existence.
right. I'm living my dreams today, but it was a lie. It was a fake reality that I live in. And then eventually I was like, you know what, man, this is not the path. Like I got to find someone and I need to mirror that someone. And for me, that was books. I started reading a lot of books at the time. I didn't have access to the internet like until I came here.
So until
to
16,
go,
you
yeah,
didn't really have
exactly.
internet
So
like
I
that.
had internet at my cousin's house and LAN houses.
yeah,
you know,
yes.
like I don't know if you guys had that here.
Yeah, no, here's because you can afford a computer. Most
Right.
people can afford like a general computer.
Look, we tried to put internet in my house, dude, but you know, to watch a YouTube video, you had to let it play for 3 days and then watch like a
load up.
5-minute video.
Yeah.
It was horrible.
Damn, that dial-up
Yeah.
connection.
So it didn't work out, and my grandparents were super skeptical. They're like, "Oh, you're gonna go to hell if you use the internet," or things like that. You know,
Were you like hustling on the side at that age too already, Victor?
dude,
or no?
I was always hustling. It was just something that I loved money, man. Like I was like, I love this.
What was your first like?
Yeah, so I was
hustle?
gonna say, as a kid, what were you doing for hustles?
So I was always good at raising capital.
Okay.
Okay. So like I never liked work hard. I never liked to work hard and stuff. I was like, I gotta find a way to make money, but without working really hard.
You're the work smarter, not
So
harder.
I always had a lot of friends, and I would come up with these plans. I was like, dude, this is how you're gonna tell your parents, and I would give them a script. You just say this, and that. It was crazy. It would work, right? We would raise all these funds, but you know, I didn't have any ambitions. Like my mind was not what it is today, right? Think about it. My grandpa, he had a 1986 car. And to me, to have a Gol Quadrado in 1998 was like extreme.
Impossible.
Dude, that was like success. Like I made if I had made that happen. So all the money I used to make, I would just buy like toys and buy like
Monetary things, yeah.
alcohol and stuff. Like I thought it was cool to drink, so I started drinking when I was like 10 years old.
Wow.
Yeah,
I mean, in Brazil,
It's because
dude,
the
it's
culture
like-
in Brazil too is very
Yeah,
like.
yeah.
Dude, your parents would be like, "Hey, can you go get beer for me?"
Yeah.
And they'll look over at you, let
Literally,
them
the
get beer.
store
and
will
stuff.
sell it to you.
Right, and you know we were Catholics, but we went to church, but we didn't really understand. We didn't study the Bible
Yeah.
and stuff, dude. If you go to church and you're not studying the Bible, you're literally losing it on the manual,
Yeah.
right? Like how you gonna know how to live and stuff. So what happened was I read this book, and I was like, you know what, man? There's a way to make money. And the name of the book was in Brazil. I don't know the name in English. Is Inteligência Emocional.
Emotional intelligence.
Right, but it
Probably,
doesn't
yeah,
it doesn't
probably
translate. It
translate
doesn't
it.
translate
Exactly
to
to
that.
it,
It's
yeah.
something
Probably-
different.
Would it be that? I wonder.
My uncle gave it to me, and I was like, you know, I'm gonna read this, and it completely changed my outlook on how things are, because I noticed that if I wanted to achieve the results of the minority, I have to do what the minority is doing. And from that moment on, I just embraced who I was. You know, I actually started telling people, yeah, man, I am broke. You know, like, yeah, we don't have any money, and it's okay. And started being proud instead of being embarrassed on my situation. That's when things started to work out.
Kind of accepting realization then, right? Kind of accepting your situation as, okay, this is where I'm at. to write.
It's literally called Emotional Intelligence by Jeremy Bolton. Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
So like when
There's a
you
couple different. I'm looking at them too.
Yeah.
I hear Caio Almeida Valer.
Almeida, that's the one.
Almeida, yeah.
Mhm.
It's yeah. Okay.
so when you were doing that, you said you at 6. You said was when it kind of like that switch flipped for you.
No, at 6 I started. I realized that I couldn't mirror my grandparents.
Okay.
And then I was like, I was a kid, so let me just make some stuff up. Let me just see what happens.
So, I mean, Victor, when you did that transition and like you start now looking into books and all that, bro, your friends, what were they doing?
Bro, my friends were not doing that. I'll tell you
They're all
that.
partying.
So I was, like I told you guys, my mom paid good schools for me, but I lived in a very simple area where all my friends were going to public schools.
Yeah.
Before I came here, actually, I begged my mom to let me go to public school. So the last 3 years that I spent in Brazil, I spent on a public school system because that's where all my friends were. I never made friends with the rich people. Like I just, it never didn't fit in. We didn't have the same
didn't
story.
click, yeah.
You couldn't relate with them.
I couldn't
yeah.
relate, man. And they're a little more immature because when your parents have a little bit more money, they tend to spoil you a little bit more. Like you can be a child for longer.
Different
right?
experiences, yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. It's just different situations for me. So yes, my friend, like if I were to look at where my friends were doing, I would never be here. I just knew what I needed to do. My motivation at the time was just to prove my mom and my dad that I could do it. I was like, you guys walked on me, I'm gonna prove you guys you made a mistake. You know what I mean? That
was your drive.
That was my drive, which we can talk about it later on, but it wasn't strong enough. Eventually I had to find something else.
Yeah.
So that was my question. So you were finding that drive. Did you like have that mentality before you came here? So like
Oh yeah.
So then when you got here, right? You moved from Brazil. You were like trying to figure everything out. So you came here already with the mindset of like I'm gonna be an entrepreneur, business owner. I want to do my own thing and create my own path.
I didn't have the mentality to be an entrepreneur. I had the mentality to make money. I had no idea how. I had just arrived in this country. My mom she still works at cleaning houses. Now she works with BLB. I'm proud to say that.
Hell yeah.
That's so dope, bro.
Yeah,
That's
she's
awesome,
trying
man.
out. She's starting. She still has her full time, but I know that eventually she'll get good at it. And I didn't have the mindset of becoming an entrepreneur. I didn't even know what an entrepreneur was, to
Yeah.
be honest.
First thing, how was like you adapting? Because you said you were 16 when you came here. So coming here at 16, I think it's
English.
a whole different for you to like learn English and to adapt to the society is totally different.
Dude, so I went to Ashland High.
Yeah.
Okay. There weren't many Brazilians in there. And the ones that were there did not want to speak Portuguese with me. For some
Really?
goddamn
What?
reason. I don't understand why. They would talk to me in English. And I was like, okay, I don't know what you're saying.
It's a good thing.
Well.
I mean, yes and no.
now that I look back.
It pushes you to
Now that I
the...
look back, it was a good thing. But here's the
Yeah.
thing. I was very shy to speak, right? Because I didn't know how to speak. But it pushed me out of my comfort zone completely, man. Because the teachers, they didn't care. They're like, Victor, read this. Can you imagine you reading something
In front of the class.
in front of the whole class?
Damn.
You don't know anything. So I was like, you know what, man?
I gotta learn.
I don't care, man. If they didn't make me, they can't break me. You know, so let's just keep doing this. So
I love that.
I spent 3 months studying my ass off. Like I got here in February of 2013. It's been 10 years this year. And
That's crazy.
though that whole summer, man, I spent like watching movies, reading in English, listening to books in English and reading at the same time. And it's just, the English just came. But the culture was still hard for me because a 16-year-old in Brazil is very different than a 16-year-old
Their
here.
head is much ahead.
And, I never had a little brother. Like, my brother was 8, pain ass, okay? I didn't know my mom. She had she's not even married to this guy anymore. She had a husband, and him and I didn't get along. So by the time I was 18, I was out. Pretty much. I couldn't fit in, right?
Yeah.
But I still had that drive. I was like, I gotta make money, man. I gotta make money. But when I arrived, it wasn't there. I had to educate myself and understand where the money's at.
Did you go to college?
I did. I graduated from Framingham State. I have a minor in civil engineering, a minor in finances, and I graduated from entrepreneurship and business.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fire.
And then I was gonna do my MBA, but I was like, nah, you don't need it.
So, boom, hit high school here, 16 years old. It's tough. You're learning English, you're going on that. I mean, work. I mean, you're a hustler. You're making money. You're going to school. You're definitely trying to find ways to make money. So, did you already? What type of job were you doing at that time?
While I was in high school, I worked at Shaw's.
Shaw's. I was a market
Dude,
basket guy.
here's the thing, man. I'll tell you what. I learned more English at Shaw's than at school.
I don't doubt it, bro.
Dude, because people would just come to like I wasn't bagging stuff. I was like at the grocery
Aisle.
section.
Yeah.
You know, I was
And
like
they were asking
filling
you.
shelves and stuff.
Stocking, yeah.
Stocking shelves, and then people would just come to me and ask questions, and I was like, oh, hold on. Repeat that again.
Slow.
Rewind. Where's the rewind?
Show me a picture. Instead of just saying, I don't speak. Instead of just saying I don't speak English, I was like, tell me what it is. Show me a picture or whatever. Right?
That's awesome.
I wanted to make sure I got that stuff, you know. It was tough. It was tough in the beginning, but then I started getting better and got me out of my comfort zone. I was like, you know what? I can do this. That's when I started speaking more. Because before I was just good at listening. Like I could know if you were talking about me, but I didn't really talk. Especially talking to people our age. I know they would make fun of me. And I didn't focus on making friends. So I didn't care. So I barely went to Framingham or anything. I just focused on studying and working. So I would go to school, play soccer for school, arrive at home, work until the supermarket closed. I would always try to work as many hours as possible, but they wouldn't give me that many hours because I was doing school.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. And then once I turned 18, I continued at Shaw's, but then I got a job at DCU, Digital Federal Credit Union,
Oh,
because
shit.
I was like, I want an office job. I don't know where the money's at, but banks seem to have money, so and I
Seem to.
And again, it's that money without you having to work too hard. You're in an office the way you always wanted to, so you're still
Exactly.
chasing that vision.
Yeah, my mom wanted me to go and open my own company on in painting at the time, painting, and I was like, dude,
The usual
construction.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, dude. I know a lot of people that make more
There's
money
a lot,
faster
yeah.
than me, right? So, because you can make money faster.
Yeah.
Like, I started my first job at DCO, I was making $12 an hour.
Yeah.
And I have friends of mine that were making, off season, working landscape, $20 an hour. But I was like, yeah, man, but how far are you going to go in there? You know what I mean? Like,
It's the
here,
delayed gratification.
Like, why do I need money right now? I'm like 18, bro. I can literally live in the back of a truck. It doesn't matter.
That's the question I was gonna ask. I mean, were you a person that at that age were you already financially like smart? Were you like?
I was.
Were you smart with your money? Were you,
I've always been smart with my money, man. Because I knew, since a young age, like I told you, I got into books and stuff. I saw my grandparents always struggling because they didn't know how to handle money.
Your circumstances made you have to learn how to
Exactly.
be
But I've
financially
always
literate.
focused on the psychology of money. Okay, like I've understood that. I've always been big in networking and talking to people, and I would talk to people that had money, and they're just different about money. They're not so attached to money as the people that don't have money. People that don't have money are way more attached to people that have it.
yeah.
And
They're willing to take risks with that money.
exactly. Well, not everybody, but most of them, right?
Yeah.
But they're just like they talk about money differently.
What do you mean differently?
Well, think about it this way. When you don't have something you want it so bad, you're willing to do anything and everything to get it, right? When you have something,
in abundance.
it's just different, right? So I started to think, okay, these people think differently. To get here, what do they need to do? That's when I started focusing on the mindset of money. I was like, it's not just about working hard. My grandparents work hard. They work, my grandparents would wake up at 4 a.m. And the last profession they had before I left Brazil is like they were baking goodies and stuff like candies and sonho de valsa,
Sweets, yeah.
yeah. And I was like, dude, they do work hard. 4 a.m. waking up at 4 a.m. going to bed at 10.
Hard workers.
So it's not hard. Hard work is not the way.
It's working smart.
Yeah, but then I was like, okay, what's working smart? How do you work smart? If you have no money whatsoever, what do? You buy real estate? Okay, how long is it gonna take me to build an empire, getting paid $30,000 a year? So maybe it's not that. Maybe I have to focus on me. I have to get better. I have to elevate. Let me find the skills that will open up the opportunity. When I started in the bank, that's what I saw because I used to see everybody's bank accounts. And I was like, okay, this dude has money. Let me ask some questions for him.
That's crazy.
And every single one of them, oh, dude, I focus on myself. I read a lot. I network. I know how to sell. Sales. It would always keep coming up. Sales. I was like, okay. Then I started studying sales. And I was like, okay, sales relate to money. You know why? Because money is a skill set, mindset, and habits. Right? Your mindset, you got to have an abundant mindset. If you don't have an abundant mindset, bro, you're not going to make money. The second one, though, if you have an abundant mindset, but you don't focus on your skill set, how are you going to make money? There is no investment tool in the world. I don't care who you are, Warren Buffett, Jimmy Buffett, doesn't matter, right? There's no investment in the world that's going to make money for you. You need to put money into the investment.
Yep.
Okay, but here's the thing: if you're not smart, you're gonna always be playing behind the 8 ball, because if you work so hard to make 40 grand, let's say you work 40 grand, you save 40 grand, now I want to buy my own house, but then you tied up that 40 grand. How long is it gonna take you to get that 40 grand back? Yep. How many lifetimes do you have to run that money? So at the end of the day, real estate is a great investment, but people need to understand that what's gonna make you money is yourself. Your skill set is what's gonna differentiate you, and the marketplace will reward you.
I mean, especially, man, clearly the banking world opened up a whole nother world to you. I mean, once you stepped into DCU, you start seeing people's personal bank accounts, and you start seeing that, whoa, this person got a lot of money. You now start trying to find out exactly what they are doing. And that's awesome, man, because lots of times people, they go like, is there like a secret, like a secret algorithm or like a secret formula to becoming rich? And I guarantee that every person that you sat down in front of, yes, they had very similar answers, but they all had different paths in how they got it.
The secret is to outwork every single person.
In whatever you like.
In whatever you do. You got to outwork everybody. And the marketplace is going to reward you, right? At the bank, it was the same thing for me. Like, I was making $12 an hour. In 6 months, I was making 18. Why? I would outwork everybody, right? I'm 18. Like, we can't say that we're better than anyone, but we're also not worse than everybody else, right? And I'm the best person at being me. So I can't control what I do. Like, so I've always been big on competing with myself and outworking everybody else.
That's awesome. I'm the best at being me.
Right?
That's sick, man. I think that's so important, man, because I feel like a lot of people forget to look at themselves.
They get lost in the sauce.
They get lost at their daily routine. They get lost at their current life situation, like family and all that stuff, and they kind of lose track at who they really are and their high their biggest potential, dude. And their how you say their gifts. Everybody has a gift, but at the end of the day, nobody knows. But the most important thing is just to fight. Fight until you find that. It's like that meme that you see that you're always digging. You're right there. The diamond's right there.
And then they come back.
Yeah, and then like you just might come back just because of this little thing. Keep going. Fight through those barriers.
Hell yeah, man. I mean, Victor, especially going into the subject of like chasing a dream, chasing a goal, a way of like persevering and all that, right? Because lots of times, man, people, especially on Instagram and the world we live in today, Instagram preaches a lot about that. Read books, eat right, cold plunge, wake up early, and you're going to be successful.
You're going to be the god.
So you're going to be amazing. You're going to become Hulk of the world. And at the end of the day, man, that's not just it. So I mean, can we let's have not just Victor, but all three of us.
I mean, that's a lot of aspects. Like those are good aspects too, But
I'll say this. But do you think that just motivation speaking, reading books, and all that is just enough for a person to reach success?
Well, I think everybody should have non-negotiable in their lives. Okay, a non-negotiable routine is imperative. Remember, money or anything that you do is mindset, skill set, and habits. So your habits are gonna dictate who you are. But here's the thing: everybody says that the early bird gets the worm, but here's the thing: the bird that knows himself best gets the worm. I don't wake up at 5, man. I don't do it. I never did. I never liked it. Well, when I worked the 9 to 5, I had to. But now that I work until 3 in the morning. That's when I work best.
Yeah, me too, man. I produce the most.
I wake up at 10, and then people think I'm a loser. I was like, dude.
I was working until 3, 4 in the morning yesterday.
You know what? We have different perspectives. It doesn't matter what time you wake up or what time you go to bed. To me, it's like, what do you do when you're awake? That's important, right? If you're sleeping 10 hours a day, then that's another issue. But.
And that's exactly where I wanted to. I mean, great. I heard your opinion. I mean, Eric, do you think motivation, discipline only with books, and all that? Do you think that's all it takes to get to success?
I mean, I think they are very important.
They help.
I think you should be doing it. Exercise. Feeling healthy. If you're not healthy, bro, if you're not, that's an important thing. We see each other at the gym all the time. I don't talk to him because I'm always looking mad and stuff. But I mean, they're very important, bro. But like, I feel like, man, I don't know. He just kind of like just blew my mind right now, kind of like of the self-improvement, because you kind of lose sight of that, of the day-to-day things that's going on, dude. You kind of lose sight of be like you improving yourself being the answer
Instead of just trying to do what other people are doing.
Put in the fault at your lack of skills or the client or whatever it is, dude. I think, I mean, I think
think,
they'll play
Andre?
a big part, bro.
What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with Eric. It's like it's essential to have those things as like a base for you to like get to that point, but you're not gonna get to where you need to go if you don't apply it, right? So it's like you can be the most knowledgeable person in the world, but if you're not using it, you're not gonna go anywhere. You know what I mean? So like all those things, like you say, it's like a big thing now. Like cold plunge, be a motivator, listen to this guy, read this book. But what are you gonna do with that knowledge you just got? And apply it. Don't just preach it. Like do it. You know what I'm saying?
That's where I wanted to go with this, because at the end of the day, man, you already dropped one here that I want to bring it out now, because you said we're gonna talk into it later. I think this is a perfect time to talk about it. Motivation is great. Motivation gets you going. The books get you going. The cold plunges gets you amped. The routine with the training, with the gym, that all helps you with what? With having discipline. But at the end of the day, bro, motivation and motivation speaks and motivation, it's not just that, because that goes away. You said it. You said my motivation changed, and I had to find a different motivation to keep me going. Exactly. We'll get into that later.
Right.
So now your motivation first was family. That's what drove you. The problem with our society today is that instead of him finding a different motivation, he could have quit right there, but he found a different motivation. You know what our society does? They think that what Instagram tells them is the only way to do, and the moment that doesn't work, they're like, fuck it, I have nothing, my life is gone. I don't have anything else to do because I don't know how to think outside the box. I don't know how to like.
They think that's the only path.
That's the only way. So at the end of the day, bro, that's the big picture that I want to put out here. Yes, you can be disciplined with this. You can be disciplined with that. You can go to the gym every day. You can eat right. You can read books. But if you don't implement everything that you're reading, everything that you're living, and everything you're doing, and you're still going out there and being an asshole, being a jerk to everyone around you, you're doing all this shit, and you go, why isn't my life changing? Bro, I don't care if you wake up at 5, if you eat chicken every day, if you do cold plunges 4 times a day, you're still going to be an asshole at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah, my throat is crazy. Yo, I have a question for you, though. You think ego plays a big part in everything?
Absolutely. Ego destroys everything.
It's like the number one destroyer.
It destroys everything.
You kind of don't want to believe that there's, kind of like more to learn out there. Like you don't want to kind of humble yourself to, like, kind of for you, for example, like me, I'm opening my doors to you because I want to see what you're into and like what you're gonna provide the information, right? A lot of people be like, you know what, I don't know what this guy is. Whatever he says, I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm not gonna. Take
humility. I think humility plays a huge part, right? And I think
elaborate on that.
Well, here's the thing, man. I want to go back to something you said. With all the information and resources and stuff, for every hour that you learn, you should spend 80 hours applying that. Wow. Okay, so that's key, and people forget that. And another thing too, can we all agree that the more information we have, the more stupid we become? Look at where society is today.
I agree.
Right? It's because people are easily influenced.
It's this overabundance of information. Like we have such easy access to like whatever. It's like Google. Oh, what do you want this? Google it.
Exactly. People do not understand that. For example, everything there, you work in solar, I work in finance, and people can Google something like everything bad about solar, for example, and the algorithm is just going to keep feeding them that information. And then automatically people think, oh my God, solar sucks, because they saw that, and they keep being fed what they want, because Zuckerberg doesn't care if he gives you the right information. He just cares that
He's
you
giving you what you're looking for.
He wants to make sure that the ads are there. And
exactly. He wants to make sure that you see what you want to see.
Yeah.
Right? And people get caught up in this world where it doesn't exist. Like, people need to understand that there's no one that's perfect. Just Jesus. Jesus was perfect. And even Jesus had moments where he struggled. Yeah. So our life is going to be not like this. It's going to go like this and like this. But what's going to make the difference is how you bounce back. Because if you bounce back strong enough, you're going to go higher. And then when you're going to fall down again, and then when you bounce back up, you're going to go even higher. So it's how you bounce back up that matters. And we hear this all the time, and everybody's a motivational speaker nowadays. Yeah. The first thing that I say on my trainings when I'm training my team is motivation is the worst feeling you can possibly have, okay? Motivation is going to end really quickly, okay? And then you're going to be in a very bad mood. The first note that you get, because, it's going to end, enthusiasm, motivation. You guys door knock. You know what I'm talking about, right? The first person that tells you, oh, piss off. You're going to be like, oh, my God, this is not for me.
Oh, man, it happens so many times, bro.
But you got to be disciplined, man. When I started BYOB, I was like, I'm going to do this until it works. I'm not going to give this a year, 2 years, 3 years. No, I'm going to do this until it works. I don't care how long it takes.
You were gonna make it work no matter
No
what.
matter what happens, right? I don't care. I believe in this so much. If I have to sell my house to put money into this, I will. I didn't get to that point, but you gotta get
Clearly
to.
not.
You have to have that mentality to be like,
have
bro, it
to
doesn't
have that
matter.
mentality, man. It's people think that it's a walk in the park to make $1 million because everybody wants to be a millionaire, but they don't want to deal with a million problems. That's what I don't get.
You know what it is too? I think it's because like we have such easy access to seeing millionaires and seeing these people like achieve their
Instagram.
goal. So to us, it becomes more. I guess it's like a good thing. You have more like a more grasp towards like being the millionaire, but then you think like, oh, it's so easy. I just gotta do this. I just gotta follow this motivation page and follow these 5 steps that this guy gives, and I'm there.
I'm gonna pay $40 a month for this course. And
yeah,
become
and
a
I'm gonna be
millionaire.
rich. Like, no, bro,
But
that
here's
guy
the
you're
thing,
paying is rich.
if they pay $40 and then they apply it, but here's the thing, man. I know I am blessed to sit in tables with people that are so smart, but they're broke. They don't make any money because all they do is study. You know, there's a friend of mine that I'm telling you, I was like, bro, you're so smart. He's got MBAs, doctorate and stuff, but, you know, I make 10 times more money than he does. Oh, Victor, money's not everything. Well, try to live without money.
Oh.
Right? Go. If you're telling me this, go make some money first, then give it all away if you don't care about money. But when you don't have any, it's very easy to say that life's not about money. That's true. Right? But it is very important that people understand that for every hour, again, I'm going to repeat this because people should write this down. For every hour that you learn something, spend 80 hours applying. When we started the podcast, everybody wanted like, oh, you know, let's just do some, you know, role plays and stuff. It's like, dude, just turn the camera on. Let's post it. I don't care. How many people are going to really watch us in the first episode? Like, it turns out I was wrong. That's the one.
The first episode is the one you get the
Everybody
most
watched
views.
us in the first episode.
Bro, our
Then-
first episode was like 1,200 views.
Yeah,
We're like, whoa, we're
I was
good.
like-
We're gonna be all stars. Next day, 100 views. Like, oh,
Exactly. I was like, oh,
Wait a minute.
we definitely did something wrong. Nobody wants to follow up on us. But people are curious, man. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Those are the people that want to see you fail, right? Those are the people that are like, let me just go watch so I can go and criticize. You know, these people, that's what they want to do. That's what people do. And here's the thing, man. Make money from those people. You know, thrive on their
I like
haterade,
Victor,
on the
man.
electrolytes on their haterade. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it is, bro.
Victor, let me ask you this. So going back to that, I mean, you said motivation first was family, and instead of you just giving up, you found a different motivation. Man, what happened there? What made your motivation go away, and what made you find something else? And what was that something else?
So my mom's dream was to buy a house
Okay.
here in America, right? I bought my house before she did hers. And I was like, okay, now what? Right? You know, I just wanted to prove to her, right, that I could do it. And like I said, my mom always got the short end of the stick because my dad wasn't around to take my ref. You know what I mean? Like, so I appreciate what my mom did for me looking back now because, you know, she was 22 when she had me.
Wow.
When I was 22, dude, I had no maturity to have a child. You know what I mean? Like I can imagine how that had that was.
How
And then
she dealt with that,
then she came here because I had it easy, man. I came here with documents. She came in here undocumented, no English. You know, like it's tough, man. Like, but
There weren't that many Brazilians
but
around.
dude, it took me years to get this through my head and forgive my mom because if you don't forgive your parents, and if I forgive my dad too, dude, whatever. Because if I don't, it's like I'm drinking poison expecting the other person to die. You know what I mean? Like, it's
that
just-
resentment holds you back a lot.
Exactly.
That
So
line was crazy.
so I was 20. So I bought my house when I was 20. Then my mom bought her house too right after. And we didn't talk. Like the moment I got out of my house at 18, we didn't talk until I was like 22, 23.
Wow.
I
Like
didn't-
zero
talk. Look,
Wow.
the moment she kicked me out, because she had kicked me out before. And then I had to, swallow my
wait a minute.
pride.
You didn't.
why
so
did
wait a minute. You didn't leave. You got kicked
so
out.
I did. So, but here's the thing, man. My mom was going through a lot.
Yeah.
Like it's obviously easy for me to say that I don't think I was at fault. But the reason my mom kicked me out the second time is because I left my books on the table. Like I don't know which parent would really think that that's a bad thing. Because I used to get home from work really late. Okay, we lived in a small apartment, Jefferson, not Jefferson Hills, Leonzinho over there, like Chestnut Place, National.
Yes.
And there was not really a place for me to study. My stepdad was always watching TV, and my brother was sleeping in the other room, so I had to do it in the dining table. And I would get home and just try to crank up the studying because I was working full time and going to school full time. And she would get pissed, you know what I mean? And then there's a lot of issues in there.
Of course.
So eventually she kicked me out one time. She was already struggling with her marriage and stuff. A
lot happened.
A lot happened. So I was like, yeah, if you kick me out, I'll never come back. She's like, no, you come back. Never did, man.
Wow.
I told her, I was like, hey, man, I'll live under a tree, whatever. I'll
But I'm
die
not
in the
coming
cold,
back.
but I'm not coming back. Like, if you kick me out, this is it. And this is my motivation, man. But it was good. I turned a bad thing into a good thing.
So after the family went away as a motivation, what did you find as a
So
motivation?
then I got married.
Okay.
I
so
got
now
married.
you created
Like,
your
here's
own.
the thing.
Like right
I-
after?
I got married at 23. No, my mom kicked me out at 18, so I got married. I've been with Mariana for, I don't know, almost 10 years.
We
now.
went to school, Mariana.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
10 years. Holy
Yeah.
crap.
That's a long time.
So
Time flies.
Right?
yeah, so we've been married for 3, but we've been dating for a long time. And I got married. We were a perfect boyfriend and girlfriend, man. We had no issues whatsoever. When we got married, I was like, this is not the person I married. What happened? Did they change? Like, did they replace her? But no, man, when you get married, things change.
You meet a different person.
Yeah,
the
so get ready,
habits.
get ready, man.
I was about
Get
to
ready.
say,
You're
get
about to get
ready.
married.
No.
So I will tell you this right now. If I didn't get closer to God, I don't think I would be married today again because of me. Like, I didn't, dude, for a guy, like, remember, I lived by myself for a long time.
Yeah.
Right? I had all this freedom. And Mariana have always Mariana is the complete opposite of me. She's a way better person than I am.
Family
right?
oriented.
She's such a great person. It's one of the smartest people I know. She's one of the reasons I spoke English too, because she would always be helping me. Mariana's been there since day one.
Shout out to Mariana,
There you
because I
go.
know she's here in the chat.
Yeah, and she's been, pushing me to get better. And the reason I got my first job actually here in the States is because I arrived and I wasn't going to work that summer. I told my mom, I'll take care of my brother. And, don't have to pay me. I just need more time to study because I want to learn English. And she said, okay.
Wow.
But
That's so
then,
dope, bro.
but then Mariana got a job. And I was like, no way I'm going to let that woman work and I'm not going to be working. So I got a job in installation. I forgot about that, but I only worked there for a week. That's how much it sucked.
No, bro, installation
Like
was
literally
hard.
doing installation.
Bro, fiberglass is no joke.
Bro,
It
and
wasn't
there-
even fiberglass.
it's
It was
the
this,
spray,
this
yeah, which is
spray
worse,
thing, and
bro.
we would go to attics, bro, in the middle of the summer.
Oh my gosh, sweating bullets.
Nah, man, I was like, this is not for me. Getting paid $10 an hour? Yeah, no,
Slavery,
man. I was
bro.
like, this, no way.
So at that point, bro, you now turned your motivation from your family to now your own family.
Exactly, because I was like, you know what, man, I gotta make this work. I never had a family on my own. I want to have a family, and it starts right now. If I can't handle my wife, I'm just gonna keep going from wife to wife because the problem is not the wife, it's me. Because Mariana's the best person in the world. I knew that. I was like, I am the problem, and it's unfortunate how we are wired, but sometimes we become that we hate the most. And I was becoming my parents, and I didn't even notice, right? And it's just how it is, man. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, it's me. But what do I do?
Bad habits.
I am smart. I'm working out. I'm making money. What am I missing? I was already baptized at that point. But to me, getting baptized, I'll be honest, it was just me getting into water and nothing changed. I know in the spiritual world things change, but in Victor didn't change. I did it because I wanted to make her parents.
It was just an image at that
I wanted to
time.
make her parents happy.
Yeah. And this time, you said you were Catholic. Were you still practicing Catholicism?
No, dude. I never had a lot of faith growing up, at all. Like, I went to church because of Mariana, honestly. Her parents made a stipulation, if you want to date my daughter, you got to go to church. So I was like, okay, I want to date your daughter, I'm going to go to church.
So you went to
So-
church, application approved.
Exactly. So it took a few years. Then eventually I got baptized, pure pressure. Because you see everybody, you see everybody doing it, right? So you're like,
I can't be the only one not doing this.
what if these people are right? I will go to hell. So if
He gets to the pool.
Mariana's here in the chat. She goes, "Oh, I love you, cutie. No, you're the best person in the world."
So then I was like, I got baptized, didn't change any habits, so I continued to do the same thing. And I don't like saying this, but because it's not because you go out partying that you're undeserving of blessings, but I wasn't living a very Christian life, put it this way, right? Especially for a married man. And I was like, I gotta change. But how? I didn't know how. So one day I went to church, and this pastor was invited to go to our church. And remember, I never go to the group of men, never did. I never liked it. But this day I did, because it was to that point that I was like, you know what? I think everybody has their
It
experience.
was like a men's group for church.
Yeah, everything else goes wrong. Let me go to church. Let me see what these guys are talking about. And this pastor said this, and it changed my life forever. He said that a man's responsibility is not just to put meat on the table, it's to pray for their kids and be the sacerdote of that family.
Yep.
And that, and he was like, because what's gonna happen when you have kids? When they need prayer, they're gonna go to their mom. And I was like, dude, this is what's gonna happen now. You know, but you know, how can I pray for my kids if I don't know how to pray? So I was like, I've always liked books, but I never read the Bible. So I started getting into the Bible, man. And this was about almost 2 years ago now. My life completely changed. I was working at Bank of America at the time. And reading the Bible, man, you know, if anybody wants to learn about business, just read Proverbs.
Dude, you have no idea how crazy it is. Me and Briggs were talking about today.
My new Bible just came in today, actually.
We were talking about today.
I just ordered one.
Because I was born in a Catholic family as well, but they never forced me to practice. You know, I didn't even do my first communion because they kicked me out because I was too crazy. But I always wanted to know what the real story is about. They always used to inform me on what goes on. I always believed in God. I never ever never not believed in him. I always believed him and always had the faith, but I never really knew the stories. I have no idea what's going on.
And that's the problem with church, man. That's the problem with church. I'll tell you guys this. Most people don't know the Bible. They just listen to the pastors and they believe him.
I don't think they're listening. Like, what I noticed.
That's what I thought church was all about.
I
Bro.
had a conversation with my mom about that the other day.
Yeah, and I say this as someone that had this mentality. Like, when I first started like immersing myself back into church, because I'm Catholic and I'm trying to like learn more, but I was going there, dude, and I'm like listening to like the homilies or the pastor speaking, but I'm like, my mind is like completely somewhere else, right? Because not that I'm not understanding what he's saying, he's like giving like real life examples, but then when he goes to reference it to the Bible, I'm just like, I don't know what he's talking about. So I had to like literally actually force myself to study the Bible more and what the word of Christ actually meant. You know what I mean?
And that so we were talking about business, right? We're talking about how we have to take action.
Yeah.
Being a Christian, it's about taking action.
Mm-hmm.
I tell people all the time, it's very easy to be a Christian inside the church. Very easy. Everybody there follows the same thing, man. Jesus hated religion, and so do I. Like, I don't like it.
We had a long talk about that.
Right? I don't like it because here's the thing, man. A lot of people that are listening to you guys probably doesn't believe in Jesus or anything. I'm gonna challenge you to do one thing, man. If you're telling me that you're an atheist, it's okay, but at least read the book. Like, when I say I don't like something, I go and find out about it to make sure that let me see what this thing is about.
You're not speaking out of ignorance,
right? Exactly, man. Educate yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go read it. I have so much faith in God, and I know what God can do in people's lives, that if you go through the Bible from the first page until the end, something amazing will happen in your life. You don't know how to explain it. Just the only thing is have an open mind and open heart. It's not it's any book that's talking about psychology or anything like that. You got to have an open mind to listen to it, because it's not going to make a lot of sense in the beginning. But then once you start diving into it, it speaks to you, and it's just different. So when that hit for me, man, the doors started opening. Then my focus shifted, because I was very, very successful at Bank of America. I was the youngest branch manager ever. I was a top salesperson for 5 years in a row, and I was aligned to be the next executive at Bank of America. And when I quit, everybody was shocked. But it was just like, my mission is bigger now. If I have to be like Jesus, you know, I got to be better than myself every single day, because I'm going to try for 10 lifetimes and I'm never going to be like Jesus. So how can I put a cap on my potential and just sit in this office all day and think that that's okay, right? If I'm not even allowed to speak about God inside of my job, because I wasn't.
Yeah, because you can't speak religion, politics.
I was like, what kind of Christian am I, right? It's very easy. Again, it's very easy to be a Christian at church, right? So you see people there like raising their hand like they're carrying a big ass CV like this. But when, outside the church, they're just like another one. Yeah, right?
Committing the greatest like sins.
And I had this bother from the Holy Spirit that I was like, man should be doing more. Like, what happens to Christianism? Like, we become so tolerant of everything, you see other religions, if you talk crap about their religions, they're literally gonna nuke you. I'm not saying that we should do that.
No, but like that's like the mindset.
But like people can talk crap about Christianity all the time.
Turn the other cheek mentality, right?
Exactly.
Turn the other cheek mentality.
Yeah, and we can't really do that. Yes, we should be able to turn the other cheek, but we should also condemn sin.
So be more accountable in your actions.
So
just hold the world more accountable.
Exactly. So we don't judge anybody, but here's the thing: God hates sin, right? So should we. We can't just accept things to be. The moment things get to like if you want to sin,
The moment you normalize wrong things, that's when things go wrong.
but even worse than that, what they're trying to do nowadays, man, they're trying to inflict some things into the school system. And the moment that happens, that's when we cross the line. Like, you shouldn't be inflicting certain things into in the school. Like, the school should be teaching like mathematics, like the language, English, whatever, not
Yeah.
certain things.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Like,
No, 100%.
I know exactly.
I don't know what I'm allowed to
Yeah,
speak
no,
here. I
it's
don't
no,
wanna
bro,
get- I don't
you
wanna
can
get
say
you guys
whatever. No,
canceled.
we get it. Let's keep
Yeah.
it there. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So-
good enough.
but that's the thing. Like, the moment that happens, that's when we say, hey, stop. Like, this is my values.
Yeah.
This is what the Bible says. I follow that. I'm allowed to follow that. That's, I'm free will, right?
Victor, at the end of the day, man, I talk to my friends a lot about that because I'm a guy that I'm just like you, and I say it, man. I'm not a person that says I hate a lot of things, but definitely I hate religion. Religion was put in this world to literally divide people, control people, and at the end of the day, man, I don't care what religion you like, what God you praise. At the end of the day, we're all praising a God, which it's the same God, man. You might put a different name to it, you might put a different way how you do it, but we're all praising the same God. And my point is this, bro: do good. Put good energy out there. Be the best version of yourself, like you said. I'm trying to be the best version of myself. It's not trying to be the best version of that person or trying to be the best version of what that pastor is telling me. It's really finding out within yourself, what are your faults, what are your errors, what do you need to improve every day within yourself. Because once you start doing that, you open up a book of knowledge within your own self that you never knew.
Hell yeah.
And bro, there's no better weapon in this world than knowing yourself. Because once you know yourself to that extent, you know how to get out of so many situations that you wouldn't even be prepared to because you didn't have that knowledge.
So I have a question for you. You said that you didn't have faith for a long time, right? So would you say you were living in fear, right, so to speak?
So
because you said you kind of, I liked how you used that example of like the opposite of faith is fear.
yeah, so I've always, I wasn't scared. I wasn't afraid.
Yeah.
My risk tolerance was always very high.
Okay.
So I was able to do certain things that most people wouldn't do. Like, I would make money and reinvest all my money into a course, and then I would apply that course. Like, I've tried everything. I've done drop shipment, internet marketing, wholesaling, real estate, whatever, man, until I found something that worked. Like, I was just never satisfied, right? But the difference between having faith, like, I had faith in myself, like, that I can do it. Like, I can do it because I'm good. That's the ego part.
Yeah.
Right? And ego will only get you so far in life. That's the thing.
Because we're humans.
I reached to a point that I was like, it's getting through my head. Like, I make more money than everybody around me. So I have to get out of this cycle.
The ego is kind of attached to the motivation.
Because here's the thing. What ego does, it keeps you where you are. Because you
feel comfortable.
dude, you love to be in a table. You love to be at a table where you're the smartest person in there.
And that's the dumbest table you can be at.
You're so stupid, man. So what I started doing, I was like, you know what? I want to be the dumbest person in the room.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: people that are smart, they don't give you a lot of attention. Okay, so you gotta seek and you gotta serve. And I was like, you know what? I know a guy who served a lot of people, and we talk about him. 2,000 years afterwards, Jesus, that's all he did. He is the greatest salesperson in the world, right? What did he do? He had a team. So it's like, okay, I need a team. I can't do it alone, right? So
12 disciples.
yeah. So I was like, you know what?
Holy crap. This is insane.
So I was like, I gotta learn how to lead. Like, how did he lead people? He didn't manage anybody, right? He influenced people. People just followed him. He didn't pay them or anything.
And it was the thing of like he was just speaking everything he believed, and his
You
words
look
were
at
so
Eric.
his words were so powerful that it's like
The
it
conversation
wasn't
we
he
had.
was selling. It was like everything he was saying is like, wow, I believe in that as well. This is the way to lead my life.
And then lastly, he was like, how did he speak to people? He speaks in parables. So he tells stories. So I got to become a great storyteller. All right, so let me focus on these three things. So I focused the last 2 years of my life just reading books on leadership, storytelling, and serving. And I just finished this book called Unreasonable Hospitality.
It was he's the owner of like the best Michelin, like 3-star Michelin restaurant.
Exactly.
Yo, I need to read that book.
Yeah, and Shut Up and Listen is another good book too from him. So I forgot. I am horrible with names, so I never remember the name of the authors and stuff. Like, you sound so fancy when you say the author's name. But sorry.
Bro, I've heard that book.
You've
brought
got
up
Google,
many
so
times.
Google it. Yeah, man. So it's really good. It's really good, and it tells you, man, that everything in life's about serving. So I started applying what I learned in Unreasonable Hospitality, And I wanted to get attention of people. When I started BYOB, like, I need to network now, right? The people I met at the bank, they're great, but they're not gonna take me far. So how do I get people's attention? Gotta dump some money, man. Invite people out. That wasn't enough. I gotta create value. So I would sit down and I would find. So for example, there was Breno de Lima. Like, I've always seen this guy. He was on our
podcast, yeah.
And I was like, this dude is amazing, man. He's doing something. Let me find somebody around him that can get me to him. He's not gonna pay attention to me because these people know there's a lot of people that are just trying to mooch, like, and it's okay, and I understand. And he didn't pay attention to me in the beginning, but he noticed that I was genuinely not trying to take anything from him. I wanted to, dude, let's do something together to serve more people. And the moment you come up across that way, to people just opened up, because nobody does that. Everybody wants to take.
The best leaders are the best servers, bro. It's like servants.
Exactly. So I was like, let me do this. So I started. Breno is just one example. I did this with hundreds of people, and maybe 10 or 11 people returned to me, right? You got to be crazy about it. But then things start to align, man. Once you get to a certain frequency, things just start to align, because people in the same frequency starts to find you. And just this Saturday, I had one of my friends in there having dinner with me, and he arrived at my house with his Lambo, and I was like, oh my God, dude, this is just insane. Like 2 years ago, I was here at a table with people making 30 grand a year, complaining about life, and laughing at me because they thought I was a dreamer. And now I'm here sitting at a table with a guy who says that everything that he's going through, that I'm going through, he went through. Nobody's gonna believe you when you're in the come up. No one. Everybody's gonna criticize you. Everybody's gonna think that you're doing something wrong, especially when you are starting to make more money. It's like people feel like, dude, you can't do this, man. You're gonna leave me here, my 9 to 5, struggling, and you're gonna leave and be happy? No. Let me shit on him, because he can't do that.
He can't do better than me. It's like an anchor holding you down.
It's not even like people don't like you, man. Like, I'm telling you, and you guys are gonna you guys are already succeeding, you're probably facing this, but it's not like people don't like you, but they just don't want to see you better than them. It's just humans, man. That we're horrible inside. We're just animals, man. What's your word? We're savages.
We're savages. Savages. You just gotta be the best.
Shama. Vito, man, it's crazy, bro. Because now going into how you got into BYOB and how you even came. People that are listening to us right now and have been hearing this story since the beginning, we started the episode, they can see, bro, there's such a huge character change that happened within your process and within your timeline. And it comes to build exactly the person who you are today, that what you're doing today. You wanted to serve people. You wanted to, like, openly speak about what you think, what your beliefs are. And you were there to just simply make a difference and build that character and to have people follow you, right?
Right.
And that fits right into BYOB. How did BYOB come up, bro? How did that start? Like, what's the reason? What motivated you to?
So, well, I knew my strengths. I knew I know everything there is to know about finance. Well, nobody knows everything there is to know, but I have a good basis on finance. I've been doing this for 10 years. I studied about it and read about it.
Been around it for a while.
So I was like, I got to do this. It's got to be something related to finance. But then, like I said, I spent the last 2 years focusing on learning how to serve, learning how to lead, and learn how to, what was the third one? Learn how to serve, learn how to lead, and learn how to tell stories. So it's like, okay, how do I apply that? In the Bible, it says, seek and you shall find. Okay, you start seeking, even though you don't really know what you're looking for, you will find, right? So I came across life insurance, last year. And I was like, this is amazing. I thought life insurance, it was just like when you die, your family gets the money, right? Whatever.
Yeah.
But turns out there's a lot more to it. But this is why I got interested. I went to school for finance and I worked in banking for almost 10 years. Never heard about it. Which is crazy, right? So it made me think like, why are they keeping this a secret? So I started digging, and then I understood that they're just keeping it to themselves. So I looked at the graphics and I was like, okay, last year, $190 billion of life insurance coverage was bought by banks. Why? Right? So I was like, success leaves clues. So let me see what's happening here. And then I started digging. The top 1% owns 2/3 of all the life insurance in the world. I was like, okay.
There's something there.
There's something there. So I learned, and I was like, okay, but to work, to become your own bank, there's a whole concept to it. If you want to learn more about it, just follow us. We'll teach you. Nah, I'm kidding.
What's your Instagram?
It's Real Victor Hugo G.
And BYOB's Instagram?
At BYOBFG, right? And what happens is this. So success leaves clues, but money, like I said, there's no financial tool in the world that's going to make you rich. But there are tools that are going to help you if you're smart and you learn how to do it and you're open-minded about it. And I was like, you know what, man? This is great. Only the millionaires are doing this. But what if I could bring this to the 200 million Americans and immigrants that, have zero financial representation? Who takes care of them? Because we have wealth accumulating, wealth management companies, but they're managing wealth. If you're not wealthy, you're not even going to get to their doors. Who's going to help those people? And that's when I saw an opportunity of serving. I was like, you know what, man? The only way for people to get out of their struggles is through education. If you don't educate yourself, you're going to stay where you are, especially when it comes to money. Because you learn about money with your parents, who learn about money with their parents. And, if you come from a family that's very simple and poor, well, the cycle is going to repeat itself. Mm-hmm. We were talking off stage about how your dad built this amazing company, but he built that
out of hard work,
man. Yeah. How long can you keep that up for? Mm-hmm. And then you have people taking advantage of other people sometimes because they don't educate themselves. So we got to keep, Jesus says, God tells us that we have to be the image of God here on earth. Can you imagine the responsibility that is? Like, dude, you got to improve every single day. And to me, there's 5 pillars and I know you guys have very similar pillars. For me, it was always read 10 pages a day at least and pray, right? Eat healthy, drink a gallon of water a day, work out and take a progress photo. Like, and do I do all 5 every single day? No. But that's my non-negotiable routine. Like, that's what I try to do.
That was like 75 hard.
Right?
Then you're 10
That's exactly where I got it from, 75 hard. And look at this, I forgot his name now, but I was like, what these guys are doing
Andy Frisella.
Andy Frisella. I was like, what Andy Frisella is doing is amazing. And look at the shape that these guys are in. And they're much older than us, man. You can't tell me that you can't be the best version of yourself if you're not healthy. Right? Forget about looks, man. Forget about whatever. Let's think about your health.
Your body's your sanctuary.
Exactly, man. If it's your sanctuary, do you want God to have a castle or live in a favela, man? Like, you got to take care of your body. It's important. So, so going back to BYOB, so
you wanted to serve people.
I wanted to serve people. Then we got together with this brokerage company called 5 Rings Financial, and Brazilians were on top of that already. So there was a guy in Florida that started this this agency for 5 Rings Financial 10 years ago, and he's helped thousands of Brazilians already. And I was like, but I never heard about it. But I could take it a step further. So I wanted to bring something innovative to the table. I was like, what can I do differently? Well, I can bring my expertise and I can actually teach these people, not just tell them where to put their money, but I'm going to teach them why they should be doing this. Because if I teach them the right way, they're going to teach their kids, and I'm going to be changing a whole generation. So it's like, wow, that's a dope mission to have. And here's the thing, I'm going to take it even further. I'm going to talk about the psychology of money. I'm going to create a process where in the first meeting, we don't talk about money at all. We talk about you. Let me understand why you're broke. There's a why. If you're broke,
you don't even touch on the money.
No, man. We talk. Why would I? If you don't have any money, why would I talk about money? We gotta discover why. So the first step when somebody gets to touch with us, we do a potential discovery, where we're gonna sit down with you and we're gonna talk about your story. I want to listen about you. I want to hear you, where you come from, who your parents, what do you do, why you're doing things that you're doing, what are your goals, why haven't you achieved those goals, right? What is success to you? You guys would be surprised what I hear when I ask people, what is success to you?
Give us an example of something crazy you've heard.
95% of my clients say, I want to pay my debt.
Wow.
95%.
95%.
So easy.
Which is crazy to think about the amount of debt that there even is where people get to that point.
But success for someone is all different from other people, of course.
This is why I ask. Because, for example, I'm a very ambitious person. If I try to inflict my ambition into somebody who doesn't have the same ambition, they're going to
scare them off.
They're never going to be my client, right? So it's not about me; it's about them. So I ask them, because what is success to you? Is pay off your debt. So where do you think I'm going to focus my conversation?
Paying their debt.
So you basically try to level out with the person.
Of course.
You kind of go down and kind of be humble. Kind of have to feel the pain. You gotta kind of have to feel their pain or what they're going through and why they're going through that.
Exactly.
You weren't putting yourself above them. You're showing all right, I got here. I was like you, but I got here because of the knowledge I have. Now listen to what I'm gonna give you because you're gonna be where I am.
Guys, remember what I said. We're not better than anyone. We're not worse than anyone. There's nobody, no matter what situation you're in, I'm gonna learn from your story, one way or the other.
There's always something positive.
I'm either gonna learn what not to do, or I'm gonna learn something new.
Yeah.
Right. So people, I've always had an open mind to this. Like one of the things that I forgot to mention that I think it's very important, and one of the reasons that I'm here today is because I listened to my mentors, but not just listened. If I saw a person that was where I wanted to be, and they told me to, Victor, you got to drink water like this, I'm going to drink water like this. Like, I would take it to the extreme. And this is why I was the best employee ever, because my bosses told me to do something. There was no negotiation. Like, this is what I needed to do. This is how I'm going to do it. And people at the bank, they hated me, man, because I would make their lives miserable, because I would crush my goals. They're like, bro, they're going to raise our goals. It's like, well,
do better.
Do better, man. Like,
bro, it's so funny you say that because we brought Matt Gava in here too, and Matt Gava said that, man. He was like, bro, it got to a point where I wanted to go to the next level. I reached out to my boss who was living that next level. He told me to change how I walked, how I talked, and how I even portrayed myself. Matt Gava said he took that so serious to a point where he wore suits every day to everything he was doing, and he was just, that was him. Whenever you saw Matt Gava, you would see him, and look at him today, bro. He transformed that discipline, that drive. He made $1 million last year, bro. You're talking, it's not easy to make $1 million, and it's not. I saw what that kid had to do to make $1 million.
And he has a wife and two daughters.
2 daughters, bro, a wife, and like,
it's prosperity, right?
Bro,
there,
he a year and a half, 2 years into solar, his second year he hit $1 million, bro. It's taking those little changes so serious to the point where I read a book and it talks about the positive compound and the negative compound. You can either have things that are going to compound for you in the positive for your life, or you're going to keep doing little bad things. They're going to compound into something huge negative in your life. So that's the thing. Take those little things serious every day, that they make a difference, bro. They really do.
Yeah, you do have to find a mentor, though. That's another. Remember, I told you guys I would talk to rich people and understand.
Yeah.
Every single one of them.
I think I found my mentor.
Had a mentor. Every single of them had a mentor, but it has to be a mentor that is where you want to be. Like, so if you are in solar, you got to find somebody in solar that is doing that, because otherwise, how can they mentor you on something that they don't know, man? It's not fair to your mentor. But you can have mentors in other areas. I have about 5 people that I believe, like this guy, Gustavo and Marina from Florida. Dude, they are the greatest people I know, because they're multimillionaires, but they taught you like you know,
would never guess
like
it.
you would never guess it. When I started BYOB, 3 months into it, they just flew me to their house. They don't know me. Right? I could be a serial killer for all you care. They flew me to their house. He let me ride on his McLaren, and then I was talking to him.
Which McLaren?
720S.
Yes, nice. He got that big boy McLaren.
Yes.
He don't got no small McLaren. He got the 720S.
And
that's my dream car.
And I got the Porsche because of him. So I went there, and I had a lease at the time, a BMW M340. And my lease was going to end, and I was telling him, you know what, man, I'm starting BYOB right now. You know, I'm going to use the money to reinvest in the business. And he started talking about my dream car. I was like, oh, you know, I'm going to get an M4 right now, you know. And he laughed in my face. He's like, you're going to get an M4, dude? Nobody knows the difference between an M4 and M3 or a 3 Series. You know, like, you work in finance. And he was trying to tell me that. He asking me, what's your dream car? I was like, okay, my dream car is a 911 Turbo S. So why don't you get it? And I was like, I don't know. Good question. Like, it's expensive. It's like, no, you're broke. You're not. It's not expensive. You just don't make enough money. Go make more money.
Bro, we have that phrase in Sunrun. We say there's no such thing as something being expensive. You just don't make enough money to have it.
And that, I was like, holy crap, man. This is why this guy's a multimillionaire. And I left Florida, got here. 3 days later, I had my Porsche.
The car, yeah.
Bro, at the end of the day, bro, it's not why you can't do something, it's how you're going to do something.
And here's the thing, man. You get scared. It's like, oh, I can't afford this and whatever. Dude, it's whatever, man. Just work harder. Like, it's seriously motivated. But here's the thing, man.
The GTR, bro.
My risk tolerance is very, very high, because, dude, when you're starting a business, man, like, I've invested just in networking this year about $60,000 just in networking, paying dinners and stuff, man. It's a lot of money. And then, like, systems and stuff, it's so expensive. CRMs, And you
Ô, Victor,
do.
eu quero dinner, mano. Pô.
No, man. You should buy me dinner now, man. Thanks, bro. I took you to sip. But it's important, man. You got so serving. Well, I just have to say this because the Holy Spirit has been bothering me. We talked about religion, right? So Jesus defines religion in the Bible, and he says religion is taking care of the widows, the kids, and there's one more I forgot, but something like this, okay? And
it's the homeless, right?
Yes,
The
and
homeless,
the homeless.
yeah.
Wow. And when we think about this, how can you do that if you're broke? So for those people that are like, oh, money's not everything, how can you help people? How can you take care of the child, the kids, the widows, and the homeless?
Wow.
If you're broke,
That's deep.
right? And people don't realize that. How are you gonna, like, I'm actually like concerned, like, how are you gonna do it? And I think that's what Christians forgot, because a lot of the times we go to church to get high, like just listen to everything that we want to do. We want to get motivation again. It's not it, man. We don't go to, you go to Sunday service. We should be going to church to serve, not to take. So I don't know why I had to say this, but
Wow.
yeah.
No, I like that.
Bro.
That was powerful.
Yeah.
To serve and that. Just dropping bombs and
Bro,
bombs
I'm
right
telling
here.
you,
dude.
I knew this was gonna be a great
I forgot my
episode.
vest. I didn't bring my vest. I didn't come prepared, man.
No, he got the bullets, bro. He's ready, bro. He's
100%.
ready.
We gotta tell Bia to go crazy.
Talking
on
about
this
the
one.
Holy Spirit, something's been on my head that you said that I didn't really understand. Why did you say that Jesus hates religion?
So he would bash on the Pharisees, man. At the time, there was a lot of religion. You got to remember, Jesus was Jewish, right? And the Jewish people believed in the Messiah, but they didn't think that Jesus was the Messiah. So they would, they didn't believe in everything he was saying.
Ridiculized
And
him.
he was, for example, they thought the Sabbath was sacred, which Saturdays they couldn't work. And Jesus was like, I'm greater than the Sabbath. And people would go crazy. And then he would have all these arguments with, the wise people, the Pharisees all the time, the teachers of the law, right? And so this is why he said, like, here's what he says about religion and a lot of things, because he says that religious people pray to show off to other people. And you should go to pray to God in your room by yourself, doors closed. Nobody needs to know where you're praying and stuff, right? And then you got to serve. That's what religion is, like serving. But there's a lot of people nowadays, I feel like they go to church just to say, oh, I'm at this fancy church right now. Like,
yeah.
Bro, that's a huge problem in our society right now, right? We always hear about these people going to church, acting like they're Christians and they follow these type of rules, but behind closed doors, they're going out and just sinning all the time, right? They're just playing like, they're kind of becoming two-faced at the end of the day, right? They're not really big,
it's difficult. It's difficult because we're not perfect, and we will sin.
But
no
I think
matter
he's
what.
talking more in the ridiculous way of those who literally just, like you said, they do it to show off. They
What
do
I-
it to portray an image that's truly, it's not what they truly are. And at the end of the day, Eric, my opinion on that is, a Bíblia fala uma coisa que é muito clara. A mentira, ela sempre, a verdade sempre vai prevalecer. Então, no final do dia, the lies, like, the truth is always going to
It's
stay.
not sustainable.
The lie is going to always fall through, bro. So at the end of the day, bro, these people, they're playing with themselves and they're lying to themselves. It's like the people like that we say, that we were talking about earlier. Let's put it into the regular secular world, right? People that do the cold plunges, they read books, they do everything, but they're still douchebags to people out there. They're still doing people wrong out there. What's the point of you taking care of your body and doing all that for yourself, but truly you're not doing anything to put out? And a tree, when it's beautiful, it's not in. When does the tree look the best? When all the branches are out and the leaves are out and they're reaching out. So that's what we gotta do, bro. We gotta be beautiful. We gotta be always reaching out and trying to not keep it in, but always put out.
Shama.
And I think a little bit of what Eric was trying to say is, I think I can like dive into it, is maybe because, like I said, I feel like I was like this more like when I was trying to immerse myself more. Even what you just said, bro, I identified it because it's like a little bit of like virtue signaling. You're like, I'm going to church. Look at me. I'm better than you because I go to church. I feel like that's a big thing of what also pushed me away from originally keep going to church and serving, was because there was so much virtue signaling around me. I'm like, dude, I don't even want to be around this. Like, and I've also noticed that a lot of people that when they say they're serving and they'll go to Sunday service or the whole week, they're doing all these ridiculous things, sinning, whatever it is. But then the Sunday they go like, I'm okay, because I prayed today, I'm good, I'm absolved, whatever it is. And then they repeat, they're repeating the same thing a week after week after week.
But that's again, it's such a difficult conversation,
For sure.
Because here's the thing: we are sinners at the end of the day. And there are people that are fighting their struggles all the time. It doesn't mean that they're not going to go to heaven or not, right? But to what you said, I'm going to tell you something that my pastor told me once. I think I've been the biggest pain in the ass for my pastor since I started learning the Bible, because he would go say something over there and it's like, you know what I mean? Like, and the Bible also says that knowledge is liberating, because once you learn, you can't be fooled anymore. Right? People can easily, because you see nowadays, man, a lot of people can use the Bible to manipulate you, because the Bible is great at manipulating people, man. This is the best book in the world. So you got to learn. Jesus knew about this, and he told us you got to study the Bible. So, but my pastor said something to me, man, that I think it applies to the three of you, because you guys do realize you are leading a generation, right? You are influencing the young people. You know, Emily Pino, she told me, like, Victor, you know, like, Richie wanted to talk to you, man. Maybe you can go to his podcast. I love his podcast, you know. Blah, blah. So
she's so real, bro. She's been supporting us from
she want a giveaway, bro. Emily's
so
amazing,
great.
bro.
She's so great. I can't wait for her
Such
to get
a
her
pure heart
license.
of
Get
a
your
human.
license, Emily. So my pastor said this, Victor. You have to understand that what God is doing through you, and the way when you feel bothered, when you go to church and you feel bothered by things that are wrong, that means that you have a calling. If you go to church and everything's okay, everything's perfect, dude, there's something wrong.
That's deep.
And I was like, wow, I never saw it this way, because I thought my pastor would be mad at me because I'm questioning, dude, you're doing this, we could be doing this and that. Like, I literally built a whole business plan, went in front of the whole advisor team of the church with my brother-in-law, and we was like, hey, man, we got to do this, and that differently, right? Because I'm not the one to complain. If you're going to complain, show the solution, right? So I was like, let me show the solution, what I think we should do, because these are wrong, but here's the solution. I'm not just going to, man, you're doing this wrong, Richie. You should sell more.
If you're going to come with a problem, bring me 3 solutions.
No, I already, my team already knows, man. If you're going to criticize something that I'm doing, you better have 3 or 4 solutions lined up, man, because do it better, right? But when he said that, and when you said to me right now, start reflecting and praying on this, man, because God has a calling for you. The reason you feel the way you feel and the way you guys feel is because God has a calling for you. You're not here by coincidence. You're not speaking to these people as a coincidence. God has a purpose for you. You don't know what that is yet, but start seeking more and you'll find that purpose. That fire in you is God. It's the Holy Spirit telling you, hey, dude, you got to do more. If it's something, you can't be a hypocrite and tell people in your podcast that when they see something wrong, they better come with solutions, and you go to church and you see something wrong and you just walk. How does that make sense?
Holy shit,
right? So
fire.
Bro, I've gotten goosebumps like 7 times.
Wow, man.
Bro, Victor, you're
back
so
on my
wise,
seat.
man. Like it's awesome to see, bro. What your experiences have brought to you, bro. I mean, I want to go deeper now again into the finance world. I mean, I love the spiritual conversation. We said this on the reel. I wanted to talk about this.
We can talk for days about
Bro,
that.
it is.
I'll just stay here watching with the popcorn. Tell me more.
Bro, we should plan a coffee day where we can all go out and talk about all this. Like, I definitely am down. But, man, a lot of people, man, know you for your brand, for the business that you're building, and you're telling us the motivation why you started it. You want to serve people. I mean, lots of times, and I got this critique when we started the podcast. People would be like, oh, you guys are always talking about success and chasing success and doing all this, but I can't relate because I don't even know where to start. Mm-hmm. So I'm glad that we brought you here, because for those people, I mean, for all you guys, me too, I mean, there was a point for me too where I didn't know where to even start or do whatever to even do something for my future, right? And at the end of the day, guys, I mean, bring it on. I mean, how can people even relate to like starting when they don't have nothing, Victor? When they are working that 9 to 5, when they're paying their bills and they can barely scrape anything to even survive, because like I said before, everything's getting expensive. Inflation's crazy. Gas is at $5.30 for paying premium. It's insane, bro. What we're living right now is insane, and a lot of people are barely surviving off the means that they're making. How can someone still start with the little that they still have and get to where they want to have a secured future?
not just for finance, but for any area in general, swallow your pride, swallow your ego, and ask for help. And go to the right people, okay? One of the things that you have to learn, because I know a lot of people that are watching this are young, you got to watch who you ask advice from. I actually helped a lot of young people that closed plans with me, that we had the plan set up, and then they went back home, told their parents, and their parents like, oh, no, don't do this, this is scam. You know, buy land in Brazil. I was like, dude, you're never going to go back to Brazil. Why would you buy land in Brazil,
Especially
man?
like kids that are born here, never even step foot over there.
And here's the thing, man. I tell people all the time, I don't work with investments. I work with strategies, okay? Because there's no investment in the world that's going to make you rich. If you're making 60, 70 grand a year, you got to make more money. But here's what we can do. This is where you start. And if you're making 10 grand a year, this is where you start. Sit down with somebody that has knowledge, draw a plan. You will be surprised what you can achieve when you have a plan. If you don't have a plan, you're planning to fail, right? Another internet phrase over there for you guys. I know a lot of them. It's you got to have a plan when it comes to money.
A goal without a plan is just a dream.
Exactly. There you go. People think that money, let me just work and make more. The thing is, if you don't build a habit when you're not making a lot of money, when you make a lot more money, it's going to be a bigger problem.
I agree with that.
I
live for
right? So where do you start, man? Listen, BYOB offers a lot of resources. I don't want to be here and try to sell what I do,
talk about
right?
it.
But BYOB has a lot of resources that I made sure that my agents and I knew that our goal is to not just sit down with the person and try to shove life insurance on them. Even though it's the greatest financial tool in the world, that's not what we're going to do. We sit down with you and we're going to ask you powerful questions. Questions that are going to challenge you to think about things that you probably never thought of. One of the things that I ask, because I help a lot of immigrants, is like, hey, listen, man, when you came in here, you had a dream, right? What was that dream? And then I was like, did you accomplish that? No. Why not? You gotta get that dream back on the shelf. Like, what are you working for now? Most people are in autopilot. Right, just doing the same thing over and over again. So there isn't. I wish I could come in here, guys, and tell you guys. Maybe one day I'll know. Like, there's not one recipe for you to get out of the situation you're in. If you're in a lot of debt, man, there's not one solution fits all, one size fits all approach.
I like that strategy you told us that you were telling me. For people that don't know, Victor has SIP every Thursday at Sisters Cafe.
Big Sisters, yeah.
What time?
6:30.
Wait, Sisters Cafe?
Route
9?
Yeah, right next to your
Right
house.
next to my house.
Yeah.
Perfect.
You should go, man.
So,
we have it tomorrow. Breno's coming tomorrow.
Perfect.
So basically, man, I went to one of your two already of your events, and it was awesome because you talked about the fact that once you get that person and you kind of see what you can do to bring down their costs so they can use whatever you're saving into investing.
Oh yeah, that's a good point, man. So one of the things that I wanted to bring with BYOB, I was telling my wife when we were starting this, is like, you know what, man, people don't save money. But why don't people save money? It's very easy for me to tell you to save, but then you look at your expenses like, I don't have any money left over, right? So usually when I worked at the bank in wealth management and I sat down with somebody that was struggling financially, after they pay me $5,000, we do it for free now. Maybe I should start charging again. People will value more. We would literally sit down with them and have the pain portion of it. We would just like, oh, you got to cut this, and that. Like you got to lower this, you got to sell your car. And we would find money, but it would hurt. The person would have to be really committed to doing this because it's not going to be easy.
A lot of sacrifices.
So I was like, Mariana, what if I can remove the pain part? Be genius, right? Like, let's do this. Let's remove the pain part of it. So 5 Rings used the financial funnel. And I was like, let's elevate this. Let's use this financial funnel and just tell people, listen, we will help you fund your retirement, because that's the first thing I work with is foundation. I have 3 steps when I sit down with a client: foundation, accumulation, and distribution, right? First thing I want to do, I want to protect you. Most people don't know that life insurance has something called living benefits, where if you get into a car accident, if you have a severe illness, like a cancer, stroke, heart attack, or something like that, you can actually tap into life insurance. And life insurance is the cheapest insurance you can buy. You can buy $1 million policy for $50. Like how much people are paying for their cars. They're worth $10,000.
Literally.
Right? So the first thing I work on that, I make sure the person has coverage. I make sure that the person has a retirement plan set up. I say, hey, listen, this is a plan where if everything goes to crap, as long as you fund this account, you're guaranteed a retirement, right? You're guaranteed to never outlive your money. So that's the first thing I do for people. But how do we fund this retirement now? We go to the funnel. We analyze every single expense that you have.
Subscriptions, everything.
Dude, and there's not a single client that sits down with me, especially if they're in a tough financial spot, that they're not wasting money, right? They're wasting money either buying extra food or they have subscriptions that they didn't cancel. I had a guy who just now, actually, one of our clients, one of my agent's parents, they were paying $794 for insurance, for car insurance. I refinanced their finances. That's what I call it. I refinanced their finances, and I found an insurance that would charge them $300. So we got $494 off. What do you think that person did with that money? Right? It doesn't hurt their budget because they're already paying that. So now I just applied that money towards their retirement, man. And so we removed the whole paying portion of it. So you look in your account today and you're like, I can't save money. I can't do anything. I don't know where to start. Trust me, we have a process for
that
you.
They will find.
Right? We have 7 steps that we're going to walk you through, and we're going to follow up with you every year to make sure that this plan is solid, because your finances, your financial situation will change every single year. And so we do that so to help people be able to fund their retirements. And once they fund their retirements, then we start with the more advanced stuff, the fun stuff, right? We can help you become your own bank, right? Which is really cool. But, I refrain from talking about that all the time, even though the name of the business is BYOB, simply because it takes discipline for you to become your own bank. You think
it's not something that happens day to night.
You think you're going to become your own bank with $1,000, $10,000, $100,000? Like, it takes discipline. But if you're disciplined enough, we can make it happen. You just have to trust. And another thing too, like, if you are going to seek help, just like I talked about mentors, I call myself a financial mentor for my clients. You have to listen to me. If you don't listen to me and you question everything that I say, and I have 10 years of experience in the business, I tell you something, and then you go to your neighbor who's literally working with you side to side, and you ask their opinion, and they say that it's crap, and you believe it, then I can't help you, right? I think that, again, the information makes people dumb.
You know what phrase I use a lot with my customers when it comes to the trust? I'll tell my customers all the time. You probably see me say this. All I ask, especially when I'm like wrapping up the deal, and I tell them, listen, all I ask is 1% of your trust, because the 99 I'll conquer it.
There you go.
That's it. Give me that 1%. Open that door for me. And the rest, with how I do things, and how I treat you, how my customer service is, how I care for you, is going to show to you that I got your back.
Yeah, dude, I broke this stigma with banking and stuff, because, my clients can call me at 3 a.m. I'll pick up the phone. Like, when I worked in the bank, man, if it wasn't banking hours, man, you could be dying. I'm not gonna help you out. You know what I mean? Like, so, and also I made it more approachable, man. Everybody's intimidated by finance. You go to these offices, it's all fancy and stuff, dude. All our meetings are online. Our team is really young. My best agent is 20 years old. You know what I mean? And he's killing it in the game. I mean, for a 20-year-old to be his own bank, making $10,000 a month, I think that's pretty good, right?
Hell yeah.
But he's been hustling. He started making this amount of money now. He started with me in January. He spent 6 months without making a dime. But this kid was in every training, every single day, hustling. And then people are like, oh, it's because he's lucky. It's because he knows a lot of people. No, man, he's been putting in the work.
He showed up.
You can't achieve greatness if you're not willing to meet the demand.
It's what you said. People never applaud your come up. They only applaud once that you're up there.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? At the end of the day, bro, we've talked about this with many, many, many guests we have here. If you're thinking that you're going to get all the chance and all the greatness and you're amazing in the beginning of your path, you're wrong. And that's going to be the first disappointment you're going to have. And if you're not strong enough, it's going to take you down.
When you say your agents, what did they have to do to become your agent?
Dude, so essentially, because we work in the financial world, you do have to get a license to produce, because we use life insurance
Is it a
as a
series?
tool. It's not a series, just one test. We have a state-of-the-art virtual training system. I'm very proud to call it that. Well, we developed it this year. You can go to our website. There's a page that says Become an Agent, and you can do everything online. I will actually pay for 2/3 of the cost. So instead of costing you $350, it will cost you $99 to do this. A lot of people say that, Victor, what do you invest in? Besides the insurance, I invest in people.
Wow.
And they never fail me, right? So I am willing to put in the money up front to help you if you are committed, right? And it's a test. It's not that hard. I mean, for me, it wasn't. But for my wife, it wasn't, because we studied. But there are people that have been trying this for 5, 6, 7 times. They don't pass. They just don't study. Like you get what you put in. It's not rocket science. And once they get the license, I personally take care of their training. We have the VT has over 2,500 hours of training. So you can literally become a financial strategist in 3 months if you want to. You learn everything that I knew. I put everything that I knew into videos and
You
stuff.
created this?
I created this.
That's amazing.
And I've also have resources from every single financial company that's over
What an
200 years.
infrastructure, Victor.
Yeah, man. This year was a lot of building. Like we spent months and months building this. We have our own
Fire, bro.
CRM with Salesforce.
You told me about that.
I take this very seriously, man. When I left the bank, I was like, I don't want the quality to go down. I'm used to, so I was used to all these resources and platforms, and I knew like when I was training people to
How
work at the
efficient
bank.
it was.
Exactly, because here's the thing, man. Let's be honest. I can get a person that's homeless off the streets, shave their beard, give them a shower, put them a suit, and take them to work at Bank of America. Just because they're at Bank of America, you're gonna think they know what they're saying, right? I wanted to be OIB to be the same thing. But for me to do this, I need to make sure that I'm training my staff and my team. And here's the thing, man. It's all salary. I don't have anybody on salary. It's all commissions. So this is where it comes.
1099.
1099. You eat what you kill, man. If you're not willing to work, I'm not your boss. I tell people all the time, I'm not your boss. I'm not gonna be calling you, hey man, just study.
Take your own time.
Yeah, no, bro. You want it?
It's kind of like Sunrun.
Yeah, you want it. We show up. There were times that Mariana and I would do a training on Saturday. Nobody would show up. I would do the training to her. I'll give you the training. The first time we did SIP, nobody showed up. I did it for my agents. We're gonna keep doing it. I was like, and then eventually people start to show up, man. That's
Yo,
how it
round of
is.
applause for that, bro. Let's go.
Yo, real quick, o chat tá live.
Bro, we got the chat shit. We got the chat shit.
How Brazilian are you?
We got the chat going on. We got Thaís here, Mariana, Emily Pinho, Carolina, Matheus Silva. Who else? Breno Rocha is here too. Victor, love you. We got a lot of people here, man, saying hi, throwing fire emojis. Everybody is going wild. And I actually want to take this time to actually say this, guys. Listen, I don't know if you already follow us or not, but thank you for being here. I know you guys are here because you guys are watching Victor and want to listen to all this knowledge. But do us a favor too, because I know he already follows and subscribes. Make sure you click that bell to make sure you get all the notifications whenever we drop content. Like, subscribe, and share, because Eric says this all the time. Eric, how is it with them and without them? Tell us. Tell us, Eric.
I thought you were about to steal
No,
it.
I want you to say it. That's your line.
With you guys, we are everything, but without you guys, we are nothing.
And that's the point, man. So we need you guys like, subscribe, and share. And always make sure to be sharing our content. If you guys don't know yet, we have our event coming up. Hey.
Shama, dude, it's
Buy your
insane,
tickets.
dude. Like, the opportunity is right there, man. You're giving the people an opportunity. The one thing they have to do is to believe in you. And what Lucas Faria told me when I first joined Sunrun, there's something that's called the Sunrun roller coaster, right? It's like in the beginning you have all this, this excitement, all this ambition, all this want to do good, and then you start off like 100 miles per hour. You're doing so good, and then it gets to a point that it just starts falling down, right? And then he told me, man, if you don't have conviction in yourself, you don't have conviction in your product, you don't have conviction in the company that you're selling that product for, you're not gonna succeed, bro. And it's from everything that you described of what you have, in your business and what you could provide the opportunities for other people, man, it's a no-brainer.
Right, and it's not even believing in me, man. This is a 400-year-old industry. People don't realize this, but Bank of America is 26 years old.
No way.
Right?
Wait, what?
Yeah,
What?
man. Bank of America. So banks break and then they buy another bank. So
Oh yeah, Bank of America used to be
Bank of Boston.
Bank
What
of Boston.
do you think happened to Bank of Boston, man?
Failed.
They failed, so they buy
Yeah.
another one. So Bank of America is
That is
brand
crazy.
new.
I did not know
Yeah,
that.
it used to be Bank of Boston. So people who originally have the accounts from Bank of Boston, their account numbers are like
Yeah,
it's crazy.
it's
Like
different.
001.
It's insane.
But
they like
people do
legacy
not
accounts?
realize this, man. That banks were not made to help you.
Yeah, no.
Banks were made to
Help themselves.
just be a financial tool for the government, man. And banks are government. So another thing that I like about life insurance is that my money is safe, man. The government can't touch my money. Let's say you have a business, you get sued, either because it's your fault or it's somebody else's fault, whatever it is. the bank can seize your money. Like the government can seize your money if your money is in the bank. If your money is inside these life insurance companies, I like to say it. It's like a vault that you're the only one that has the combination for this, man. So if you start making a little bit of money and you don't have something in place like this, man, you're missing out. Like there's so many things. Like we can help people that make $0 a month, and I can help people that make billions of dollars a month. That's the beauty of what we do. Like my focus, obviously, right, the riches are in the niches, is that like I focus on the middle class America. But if you're listening to this and you want to hear more and you make money, like dude, just DM me and I can help you out.
Dude, so I actually have a question regarding to my parents, because I think I'm gonna try to have them come to the event tomorrow with me, because I think you, bro, would be, and me too, you would be a BYOB is a huge factor in my parents' life right now, because they're older. So my question is, what's like a, because you say you work with a lot of young people, but do you work with older people as well?
Sure.
So like my parents are in their 50s, and they're kind of set in their ways, so to speak, too, where like they work very hard, they make good money, but it's kind of the whole thing of like wake up super early. You know what I mean? You get home a little late.
How long can you do that for?
Exactly, right? And I want them to have more financial knowledge too, for just everything that you got, the little they could learn just from like applying themselves 6 months with BYOB or whatever it is that they try to. So what's like what's something I can do to kind of get them to go to start like being older, because they're so set in their ways?
I think the question to ask people is, do you see retirement as being something that's feasible in your life right now? Like, do you see you ever stop working? And the first thing they're going to say is, I never want to stop working. But we all know that gets to a point that even if you do want to keep working, because personally, I don't want to retire, right?
Your body can't take it.
But you can't take it, especially like the immigrants, the first generation of parents that were here, they're working hard. They're putting, like, it's taking a hit on their body, man, and mind. So if they don't have something in plan, dude, this is what people don't know, right? Back in the days, and we're the first generation that this is going to happen to, by the way, I'm going to tell you about. Back in the days, you would work for a company your whole life. Brazilian people are accustomed to this, and then they would get a pension, where, you know, if you live 5 years, you get a check on in your mail for 5 years. If you live for 50 years, you're going to get a check for 50 years. You can never outlive your money, right? But then in 1983, this pension plan started taking a heavy toll on corporations in the United States, and the government was like, you know what, we're going to shift the responsibility of retirement from the corporations to the individuals. And we are starting to take care of our own money at that point. And that's the problem. We started to take care of our own money. And it's not like 401ks and IRAs don't have enough money. They actually have way more money than pensions ever did. But it's just how it comes out during retirement. The moment you turn 60, 59 and a half, you can access all the money that's in there. And what happens is when people don't have financial education, they retire, they go buy a boat, they go travel, they go make renovations to their house. And, you know, the national average statistics, 86% of people after 10 years of retirement, they're going to live below the poverty line. Wow. 86%, not 8.6%, 86%. And that's amongst Americans. Wow. So what's going to happen with the Brazilian community that have, because we're talking about people that have 401ks and IRAs.
Social security and all that.
What happens to the people that don't have anything? Well, we actually have something called annuities, where you can actually, it's like a faucet that you can, once you retire, you can turn on that faucet and you're going to get a check every single month in the mail. How big that check is going to depend on how disciplined you are during your lifetime. So when I'm helping these young people and everybody thinks they're going to be a millionaire, I was like, hey, listen, man, I asked your parents, they probably thought they were going to be a millionaire too. Right? Are they? I'm not trying to be, you know,
bashful.
Because the other day,
be realistic.
The other day, Grant Cardone posted something saying that, you know, if he was young, he would risk everything, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, man, people need to understand how to vet information. We need to understand where this guy was when he was our age. Because when he was our age, he wasn't gambling on everything. He was very smart. He had a plan. Yeah. Okay? Like, these people, now they say everything they want to say because they're trying to sell you something, They're trying to sell you their courses, their investments, and everything. You got to understand that those people, they might not have the best interest in mind. Now, I don't tell people to take all their money and dump into a life insurance policy. That's not what I'm saying. Get a little bit of money, put it in there, at least secure something. If everything goes to crap, at least you got this set up.
You got a plan B.
To your question with your parents, man, the money has a 3-slided formula, right? You've got time, you've got compounded interest, and you got the money, right? Like, you need those 3 things to make money happen. So if your parents don't have that much time, there's only 2 things that they can do. They can either increase the compound interest. That means increasing the risk. Yep. Not very smart at their age. Or the second thing is they got to put in more money. So then they have to be disciplined with the retirement plan that we set up, and we got to be realistic with the expectations. Hey, when do you want to retire by? When's the deadline? Okay, this is the deadline. Once I have that deadline, I can work out the numbers. This is how much I can give you an actual number of. This is how much money you need to put into have this amount of dollars during retirement, right? And people think it's rocket science. People think it's thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars. It isn't, man. Like, it really depends. Now there are people that are very unrealistic. They make 30 grand right now. They want to retire with 60. It's impossible, right? And if you're 60 and you want to retire at 65, you got to be ready to put in some dough, right? You got to be realistic. I can't make up for 65 years of not saving money in 5.
It takes money to make money.
It takes money to make money. And that's the part that the youth forgets nowadays. Like, I sit down with people that are 19 years old. They're like, yo, man, I'm trying to build passive income. I was like, bro, you should.
You have $0 in your bank account.
Dude, they're just lazy, dog. That's what it is. People are lazy. Like, passive income.
They only pay attention to
The prize.
They only pay attention to the good part of the books, not the sacrifices.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. People don't want to make sacrifices. They want everything easy. Some people sit down with me and they're like, "Well, but I have to put money into this." No, man. No, you don't have to. You don't have to. You can just continue to be broke. It's fine.
Victor,
Right?
I want to
Bro,
take.
I love the way you talk, bro.
I want to take this now to something that no matter what,
Nope,
and
no, you
every person we bring here on this couch, I notice one thing, and no matter what, it's one of the pillars that we talk about here in this podcast, which is family, the support you've had to get to where you are today, everything, relationships.
Bro, it's so easy to. You guys talked about the structure that we've built, right? I didn't build anything. That's the thing, man. I have a whole team behind the scenes working. I've got Mariana works the hardest probably at BYB. She's the one that designs everything and handles like the operations of the business, which I suck at. But I have Breno. He takes care of all my social media. I have a whole social media team in Brazil doing this for me. I've got 35 agents, and I have 11 licensed agents. Out of those 11, I have 5 producing agents. Friday, I'm flying to Florida. We're going to start BYOB in Florida now, so we're expanding. We're going to be multi-state. And if you want to be successful, you need a team. Now, that team doesn't mean it's your close friends. Most likely it won't be. Like, I started this business with one of my friends, and we were just different people, man. Like, I am a very difficult person to deal with. Like, you guys think that I'm nice, but I'm not.
Yeah.
Dude, working with me is difficult because I just
Your
judge.
standards are high.
My standards for myself are so high that I cannot see you not working.
I'm like that too.
And I just push people away. So
Yeah.
we talk about a lot of friends. I don't have a lot of friends. I don't even know if I have any friends, I'll be honest. So
Victor, they're
it's-
gonna be like, what the hell?
no,
They
no,
got me
no, I
watching
mean,
you.
but like, because
No, I see what aspect
there's
you're
a
doing.
difference. There's a difference because a lot of people that are with me nowadays, they're with me because they want to learn from me. Like, is that really like friendship or mentorship? Like, we gotta be able to
You gotta know how to
accept-
divide that.
because, dude, part of growing up is understanding, right? Like, it's a relationship,
real
give and
about
take.
things,
'Cause
yeah.
I'm real. Like, well, friends, I don't know. I may have friends or not, but you know, I have family. Like, my brother-in-law is a guy who's been with me since my day one. I actually met my brother-in-law before I met Mariana.
He did the podcast with you.
Yeah, he did. You know, Gabe, I got to know him better this year, right? So, but to me, to call it a friend, dude, to walk with me, there's certain standards that I hold, and
You're not gonna call just
because
anybody
here's
your
the thing,
friend.
I've already had a lot of people that I got into fights with, bro, and it was bad. They probably hate me. They probably hate me. They're probably watching right now and just like, this dude is a piece of crap. because here's the thing, man. I can be
Don't listen to this guy.
I can be horrible.
I'm like that. Yeah,
horrible. But it's not because I'm a bad person. It's just, I mean, I'm wired differently than most people, bro. It's just like my reality, the way all the struggles that I had growing up and stuff just made me into this animal, and emotions don't really play a part here. Like, so if you say something that, you know, call me lucky, for example, and then I'll tell you why you're broke. You know, like, then I'll show it to your face. I'm working on that as a Christian, right? I used to be way worse. But to walk with me every day, it's very hard. Most people do it for a little bit, and then they're like, I can't keep up, bro.
Yo, my team suffers.
Because
100%.
because
I'm a hard ass fuck,
I
dude.
tell people, man, like, if somebody starts in my team and I see that this kid's working hard, I'm like, damn it, man, I'm gonna have to work even harder. So if they work 5 hours, I work 15. If they work 20 hours, I work 24/7. Like, that's how I am. And then if I get somebody on my team or friends, like I started this business with friends, and they're not putting 15, 16 hours of work day, I start telling them, because they're my friends, right? So I should be able to tell them, dude, you're gonna be broke for the rest of your life. You don't want to work. And that sort of drive can push people away because
Yeah.
you're trying to push them out of their comfort zone. And then there's nothing wrong with that, dude. Their comfort zone might be good for them. It's
Yep.
just not good for me.
No, 100%, dude. We agree, man. We say it all the time here, dude. You gotta learn how to separate friends and business. You know, we're here to get shit done. You know, you gotta either step it up or we're gonna call you out. But it's either how you're gonna take it or leave it. You know, if you don't want to, like he said, man, he started the business with his friend, and he didn't see that his friend was putting as much work as he should. He criticizes his friend. His friend probably, did he take it correctly? Did he take it a different way?
I mean, I think he did, but eventually we both realized that it was just not,
Same vision.
this is not for you, man.
Yeah.
Like, because for you to do this, it's gonna hurt, right? It's painful, man. It takes a man. Like, people sometimes they overlook how big of an emotional toll it takes for you to be able to start your own business. And it's not just the struggles of the business, but it's the criticism, the negativity from everybody around it. Once you get to know the spiritual world a little better, like the vibe, the frequency. I talk about the frequency all the time. I had a guy that worked with me for a little bit, for 3 months, and then eventually I was like, bro, we can't work together anymore. Your negativity kills me. I can feel it. The moment you walk into the room, I can feel it. I'm sorry, you got to work from your house. Like, I'm going to continue to help you, but away from me, right? And I am, like I told Mariana, like, because Mariana got to one point when we were younger, and she's like, Victor, we're going to be alone, and, you fight with everybody, man. And I was like, Mariana, and for the longest time, I tried to change who I am to please other people.
That's the worst thing we can do as humans.
3 months ago, something drastic happened in my business. I told Mariana, I will never change again. I will be who I am, and if it's going to be just me and you for the rest of our lives, it's going to be me and you. Because what you need to understand, Mariana, is that when we married, I told her I don't want to be mediocre. I don't want to be average, and it's gonna take work to get there, and I need you to be aligned. Because if you're not aligned, we're not gonna work out. And she was always aligned. She was always pushing me to do better. And I told her, because we're climbing the mountain, and we think that the mountain's going to be all sunshine and rainbows. But when you get to the top, man, the air is thin, it's cold as hell, and it's lonely.
Facts.
It's lonely.
The peak is small.
But to me, I tell her, what I want to have is a big-ass family. I want to have 7 kids. Like, I want to have a lot.
I say the same shit.
That's
My
prosperity.
mom's like, what?
That's prosperity right there. That's what we have. But to have 7 kids, I have to have money. Yes. I have to have time, because having 7 kids and not having time, how do I make time? Active income right now, not passive income right now. Active, because you want to make 10%. Let's say you make a 20% interest a year, which is ridiculous. You're never going to make it anywhere. But let's say you did, right? If you're saving 10 grand, all you're making is $2,000 every year. Put it into perspective, man. Like, is that like life changing?
That's nothing.
Right? No,
Especially this world.
That goes away in 2 weeks.
Yeah. I'll spend that in a night if I want to.
Yeah, what I suggest people to do is this, man. Start young with a plan, like, and I call it a contingent plan. If everything goes wrong, set that plan up. We can help you with that. It's inexpensive, especially if you're young. Set that up, and then every other dime that you have, invest in yourself. Learn skills and habits that are gonna make you a lot more money, and then those percentages really start to work. Because then 9% of $100,000, we're talking about $9,000 now. 9% of $900,000, we're talking about 90 grand.
It's a lot of money.
So, but you have to accumulate money first, and that's something that on the internet, nobody likes to say that because they want to sell you their course.
Yeah, they want you to spend the money. They don't want you to accumulate it. They want you to spend it.
Exactly, that's what it is.
I have going back to what you said about, like, sometimes it's lonely, and then sometimes you gotta let go of the people. We talk about that a lot, bro. And I have a phrase on my bio that says, "Fly high or get left behind."
Yeah,
that's how I am, bro.
Gotta love everybody, but we gotta understand that there are some people that are seasonal in your life.
I am not holding myself back because of anyone around me. And I say the same thing to Thais, bro. I'm like, bro, listen.
Well,
get
I
aligned.
told you about this.
Yeah, get aligned and make it happen, and let's go. We have a vision, we have a plan, and we both, bro, hold each other accountable. It has to be that way, bro.
One thing that I think is so important, when people are getting married, they have to say, hey, this is where I want to be. This is what it's gonna take. Are you okay with this? Because before I married Mariana, well, dude, even when we started dating, I was like, this is how I am. I'm cold, I'm not very emotional, and I'll probably disappoint you a lot when it comes to the emotional side of things, but I can guarantee you I'm going to give you the life that none of your friends ever dreamed of. But it's going to, you got to be aligned with this. Like, you gotta understand that it's gonna take work. It's gonna take me not being, in every
Present
single
all the
party.
time,
It's
yeah.
gonna take me saying no. And especially Mariana, she comes from a family that's very involved in church. So every single weekend they has something to do. I was like, dude, that's not for me, man. I can't be there. Like, there's no Sunday. Sunday is just another day. It's just another
Yeah.
day of work. And because I am putting in the work right now so I can get the reward in the future.
And
It's
you'll
that
live.
delayed gratification that we hear everybody talking about it. But we hear people talking about it, but nobody really
Wants to live it.
wants to live it.
Yeah. No, I agree. Bro, again, going back into the whole family killing it, we actually have an awesome surprise here for you.
Oh, yeah?
We do, we do, we do.
I like surprises.
I want to play the surprise because this goes into, man, what we always say is having the support, having the right people by your side. And we have a few people who actually wanted to say some few kind words to you and show to you how amazing they feel about you, bro.
Changing lives.
Oh, Victor, man, what to say about Victor? Victor is like a brother to me. Well, my brother-in-law. And I am beyond blessed to have him in my life, in my family. He is that guy that you definitely want around. He'll make you uncomfortable. Oh, Victor, man, what to say about Victor? Victor is like a brother to me. Well, my brother-in-law. And I am beyond blessed to have him in my life, in my family. He is that guy that you definitely want around. He'll make you uncomfortable. He'll make you question things. He's that true friend, the one that wants you to be the best version of yourself, to chase everything that it's meant for you, and to see the growth that I have seen in him from the little skinny kid that arrived from Brazil to this man of God, full of drive, full of purpose, today is amazing. And I'm super thankful, man. I love you very much. My girls love you very much. You're an awesome friend, brother, and uncle, and one day a great father too. We love you, all right?
I love you, Chavito.
Hey, Victor, congratulations, man.
Congratulations, Victor, on all your success with BYOB. We're so proud to be your mentors, and we can't wait to see what else is coming from you and your team. Congrats.
Let's go.
I'll try not to be too corny, but babe, there really aren't even enough words to describe how proud I am of you. I'm so proud to be your wife, so happy and privileged to have been by your side throughout all these years, to have watched you become who you are today. From the very beginning, working at Shaw's, working so hard every single day towards your dreams, and it's just been an amazing journey by your side. I know that there are even greater things in store for you and for our lives, and you inspire me every single day with your hard work, dedication, selflessness, and I love you so much, and I'm so, so proud of you.
Hey bro, how are you? I know that you're going to be part of an amazing podcast, but just wanted to make a quick video just thanking you for what you've done for our team, what you've done for me this year in 2023. I met you in the beginning of the year, and I can honestly say that you're one of the most persistent and hardworking people that I've ever met in my life. But I also want to encourage you. 2023 was good, but 2024 is going to be even better. So just want to encourage you to keep seeking the Lord in every aspect of your life, spiritually, in your marriage, financially, because what he has for you for next year is greater than what you can even imagine.
Hey everybody, my name is Francisco, and I work with Victor. Want to come on here just because I want to say how proud I am of Victor and everything that he's achieved. I've known this guy for a very long time, since he was in college, and we were roommates together for a while. We've been through a lot, and I've seen him struggle, and I've seen him work his butt off to be able to achieve what he's doing right now. And I am very proud of him and everything that he has accomplished. And I'm really excited to see everything that God is going to put forward in his life, especially with the goals and everything that he has. And yeah, I just want to say I'm really proud. And Victor, keep going, man. Just keep going.
Oh, Victor, man, what?
I can hear myself.
My God, you guys want to make me cry? Holy crap!
What happened to being cold? The emotions.
Yeah, so I do have a friend, Francisco. I forgot about him. Oh my God, Francisco, I'm so sorry, but dude, we just it's that thing, man. I work so much, and I see him. He works with me, and I forget that, dude. We go back. Like, he was when I started my first job at ECU, he was ahead of me, and I was like, damn, I mean, I gotta stick to this kid. Like, I gotta get to know him, right? So we got to ended up living together and stuff, and it was a very difficult time of my life because I never lived on my own before. So Francisco, Nilto, Mariana, Matt, Marina, and Gustavo, thank you. I appreciate it. You guys are amazing.
Yo, round of applause for this guy, bro.
This is awesome.
Victor, man, dude, everything you're doing is awesome because you're not just looking for wealth for yourself, but I see the bigger wealth that you're building is truly making an impact in other people's lives.
Amen
You're
to
trying
that.
to change a whole generation of habits, a whole generation of ignorance, a whole generation of people that's been just simply not educated the right way. And you found a way to really make a difference in that, not just today, but you're leaving a legacy behind. And that's what we talk about here every day, man. We want to leave a legacy. That's the reason why we started this. We really want to be able to one day, if we're not here, our names, our podcasts, our actions, our dues are going to stay behind, and people are always going to remember what we are and what we do.
Yes, sir.
Improve the next generation.
That's it, man. And if we can leave a legacy where we're changing people to better, what better prices to what everything we're doing, man?
For sure.
You know?
Yeah, and one thing that we like to do here as well is a chance for you to speak to our audience and give them an advice on whatever, if
Some
they
last
were
words.
if they were in your situation and you turned out for what you are today and still getting bigger
Chasing.
and bigger by the year, just an advice to to the people that are listening.
Okay, so read the Bible. First thing, man, I'm telling you, I know it sounds corny. I know that you see a lot of people that are not where you want to be, that are so religious, but it's not about that. Read the Bible, find mentors, but make sure you vet your mentors very well. Understand that those people have to be aligned with not only financially, but also with your culture, with your values. Once you find somebody who's aligned with that, find a way to get their attention and mirror everything that they're doing. Third, take action, man. Like, just listening to this podcast or just reading a book, it's not gonna
cold plunge.
It's not gonna do anything. It's not gonna do anything. You gotta act. I do cold plunges. I think it's a great thing.
It's a great
It's
thing.
an amazing thing. He's talking mad shit.
I was saying Richie's rationing because he doesn't exercise. Guys, Victor's still giving his advice.
So I will also say that get into the best shape you can possibly be. Okay, the speed of light travels faster than the speed of sound. So people are judging you by the time they look at you. That you don't even have a chance to open your mouth. People already have preconceived opinions of you. If you don't look good, you don't feel good. Your vibe is not gonna be great. People are gonna feel it. So those are the things, man. If you do that,
health is wealth.
Health is wealth.
Guys, let's pay some bills. We gotta pay some bills.
We gotta do it.
Hell yeah. Anyways, guys, if you guys are looking for someone that you can trust in a very inconvenient situation that happens to a lot of us. Sometimes you're driving, you're distracted, you scratch your car, you get to that fender bender, someone crashes into you, something happens, but guess what? I know a guy that turns your inconvenience to a convenience. And guess what? Ivan's Collision Center, they're the best out there. Family-owned business. This guy started from the bottom, built his place where he is now, started as a painter where he was, and today he actually owns the building where he started. And again, the best thing about Ivan is the reason why he was able to get to where he is today was his one-to-one connection with every one of his customers. And truly, the moment you walk into that place, it's an experience, and I love saying that because he truly goes above and beyond for everybody. He's always trying to help out people with costs of things, always giving people discounts, deals, and trying to help people out the best way possible. Not only that, too, dealing with insurance companies, dealing with the bureaucracy behind it, and also the pains of it. Guess what? Give him a call. He'll take care of the whole process from the moment you crash your car to when it's looking brand new again. That's his goal. That's his point. And not only when the bad situation. If you want to get tints, Victor, you got tints in your car? That Porsche got tints? Bro, I was about to say, Ivan got some good tints, bro. He got amazing tints there, too. He takes care of your vehicle with full details.
You said
everything.
tints?
Tints. You gotta get the tints in there.
Just making sure.
You gotta make sure your car's dark so people don't know who's in there. You gotta stroll and not let people know.
Sorry, I had
But
to add my humor
anyways,
there.
guys, Ivan, let's play Ivan's clip real quick.
Oh, we got a clip.
I have a message for those people that have a job already, but they want a better future. My name is Ivan. I am the owner of Ivan's Collision Center, and I can help you with that. And I am going to be doing some classes for those people who want to do body work. And on these classes, we're going to be teaching you from the beginning to the end, and maybe you can become owner of your own body shop. And we are going to be teaching you how to use the right equipment, how to get dents out of the car, and how to primer a car. It's going to be a full class of everything that you need from bodywork. So don't waste your time and call at the number below here and make your application.
That's Ivan for you guys. You already know he's got the best service, best customer service. He got the best equipment. And not only that, he also has the best professionals to also hook you up. But, guys, I'm pretty sure you guys have been seeing, our cups merch. Eric, get into it.
Yes, man. RNV Sports Personalization. Did I get that right? Man, they put the biggest word on their name, man. It's so hard to pronounce. But, guys, dude, these guys are amazing, man. The loyalty that these guys have, the hard working, man, his dad, the kids and the dads, man, family owned, man. They have any kind of jerseys that you want. What soccer team do you like? Santa. They have it, man. Oh, Santa's not doing so good, huh? Damn. They have it, any kind of
custom work,
shirts. Anything that you guys need them to do, they will do it. They do company shirts, company sweaters, uniforms, decals, anything you guys think of, cups, mugs. Man, these guys do it all. They got all the machine for everything. So they're right next to us in downtown Framingham. And
they're also on our bio, too.
They're on our bio. So make sure you click the link, look at their inventory, and check them out.
And another huge sponsor, guys, that's been showing us love from the jump, and you see kind of the progression we have with them. They are a huge, huge sponsor for this next event that we have coming up on Saturday. And it just goes to show how much the people that we put as part of our team, they're not sponsors just because they're paying this or they're doing this. They're providing us with things to make ourselves grow and also themselves. So Exotic Auto Spa is the number one for your luxury car needs to take care of your car. He literally does everything from your tire to your roof. He will make sure your car is coming out immaculate, and especially if you got super high-end vehicles. I know you guys don't want that. That's your toy.
Yo,
that's
your Porsche,
baby.
bro.
You want it to be shining all the time. And Exotic Auto Spa, I guarantee you guys, he will make sure that it's delivered the most beautiful way, and he makes it an experience. You go there, he will provide you with everything you need. He makes it so easy, so smooth, and he's such a cool guy. So
you said from tire to roof?
From tire to roof.
And from Ferrari to a Toyota.
Yes,
doesn't matter what it is, man.
Guys, it's Exotic Auto Spa, but he will do anything for you guys. He will take care of anything you need in your car, and he's the guy to go. Exotic Auto Spa is the one to call if you need anything.
And I want to highlight that, Andre, what you said, man. They're the biggest one. They're the biggest sponsor coming up with us. Actually, not a sponsor. They partner up with us in doing this event. Exotic Auto Spa helped us out in throwing this event with the sponsors and everything, man. And guys, this event again is going to be amazing for a great cause. We're making a difference in multiple families' lives, kids' lives, and it's going to be a great time there too. The $50 ticket that you're paying is going straight towards the families. We're going to be having live music, raffles. We're going to also have appetizers, open bar. A few other entertainment surprises that I have going on. I'm not going to say it because I want you guys to really get there. You
got to show up if you want to see it.
It's going to be an amazing time. And, man, we actually, in the last 2 days alone, we sold about 20 tickets.
Yes, man.
So it's amazing to see it. We're starting to get worried about the tickets, but we did limit it at a point where it wouldn't be a problem. And we're super excited. And I want to put a major thank you to every sponsor, everyone that's helping us out in the back scenes to make this happen. Guys, I thought this was going to be easy. This is hard. Doing an event like this is very hard, but it's a learning experience.
Good things don't come easy, bro.
And it's like you said, man, it's taking the step to just do it and see what happens and making the best out of it. And we're super excited because we partner up with the right people to make this happen.
We were put on this earth to make a difference, so let's be different.
We have a purpose.
Yeah.
We have a calling.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah, man. Victor, thank you so much, man.
Thank
for
you
being
guys.
Here
I'm
today.
honored to be here.
The amount of knowledge, the amount of wisdom, the amount of just positive vibes and positive content that you just put out here with us today, man. Thank you for taking your time. I know you're super busy. You're start a business, man. It's crazy, Yeah. And the moment I told you about this, like wanting to invite you, you were super open for it. You took that day to go for coffee with me. I appreciate it, man.
For sure.
And that this relationship may just grow more and more. That my team, our team, and your team can just unite more and more and do greater things in this world, man.
Absolutely, man. You guys.
Episode 38, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that little notification bell. Bing! You gotta get that sound, Jay. Bing!
We'll be there the next episode.
Yes, guys. Without you guys, we are nothing, but with you guys, we are everything. So let's, become together in this movement and make a difference.
Yes, sir.
Episode 38, let's go!
Let's go! Oh.
Now I can hear myself. Pitch is funny, man. It's breaky, baby.
Bitch, you want my best friend. Bitch, you want my best friend. I can't even fuck with you. Acting like some misfits, but you still my rider, boo. I ain't never did sin. Fuck with me or bother you. Shoot but never miss shit. I am still in love with you. Empty out my clip, just to see if I